All right, good evening. Good evening. It's Thursday night. It's the Ship Cast. We are here to be your companion, your guide through the Thursday night cosmos as the Commanders and Bears square off, but it won't be just the three of us. No, we're going to have our friend Drew Dinkmeyer swinging by in the second quarter. We'll, of course, have Steph Miller dropping by at the start of the third quarter to talk about our high stakes portfolio. And, of course, we got our Pick Em sweats. It's time to get you guys $400. If we hit our core entry tonight, one of you lucky Underdog/ship chasing viewers and users will win $400. Let's get it tonight, guys. Pat Fryer Helmo.
This is why I'm hot.
Anita Handjob.
Fix your sight.
Jamar. Alpha play chase.
Are you kidding me? Kadarius Toney?
You can't handle the heat.
It looks like we're finally this boys. You're right.
All right. We got Ben Gretch. We got Pat Carrain, who's eating his first meal of the day. I actually ate my first meal of the day too, Pat, about an hour and 15 minutes ago. Sorry to flex on your intermittent fasting, but I was so swamped today, didn't get a chance to eat. Gretch, are you feeling better? You're a little
flex too, because you have that's 3 hours. It's 4 hours.
I know, man. I know. Wow. Not good. Gretch, have you had your chicken noodle soup? You feeling up for
Yeah, I mean, I've not eaten a lot today, but when you're sick, you kind of just eat whenever food sounds good and you get food in your stomach, right? That's that. I don't know. I can't flex with you guys, but you guys are killing it.
Yeah, good morning to Pat is what we actually meant to say. Pat's having his steak and eggs here on the West Coast.
I'll sing a chicken sandwich. Doesn't feel like I'm killing. Oh, this beer's good. So,
all right, guys. Commanders, Bears.
I gotta say about this.
Is it going to be a good game? No, I'm just wondering because, is this going to be a classic Thursday night shit show, or could this be a surprise?
I think it's going to be a surprise.
Yeah, everyone's complaining about this all day on Twitter, and what is there to complain about with Sam Howell and Justin Fields? This is going to be chaos on both. This is like Ryan Fitzpatrick on both sides of the field. Why would that be bad? That's amazing.
God. Why haven't we cloned Ryan Fitzpatrick?
We need to clone it.
A couple things. So Dom roasting me for starting intermittent fasting when I came out to California. I've been intermittent fasting for years, and honestly, it's essentially just disorganization. I get so busy I don't eat. It's not like I'm pushing a lifestyle on anyone. I'm just running around like, oh yeah, I gotta eat food.
Well, so us having to all watch you eat, it does feel like you're pushing your lifestyle.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. I might. The chicken sando is.
Oh, Worst play, deep shot. I mean, so I'm saying we got chaos.
Oh no, I'm not live. If you just saw a deep shot, I got to get myself live.
Yeah, that's what I saw too.
It was a near.
The other thing, this is more important for the show. We should. I feel good about our core entry tonight, and I really think we're going to win. And so we should have people fill out the form so that they can make sure that they are in the running for the giveaway, which is up to $400.
Wow, you're putting a lot of producing lift on me this early in the show. I got to get the Pick Em form up to show.
I thought he was taking it off your shoulders. I thought he was promoting.
I thought I was too. I thought I was making sure we got the important information early in the show. But look. I mean, we don't want people who watch and not. I didn't know I need to fill out the form. You'll be eligible for the giveaway, and then I think I don't know. I have a good feeling we got to win for this to be given out this week. But because we haven't won so far. The giveaway is up to $400.
Yeah, if you guys don't know how we've been doing this, so each week, our friends at Underdog, they're like, "Here, we'll give you $100 to give away, but you got to hit your core pick 'em." Oops, this is our extended one here. Already off to a rough start. What happened? How am I not live? I'm normally
75 yards.
You did more, dude. Stop watching the Spanish cast.
Dude, what is going on? I'm normally the one that's spoiling this for all of you guys.
That was a 60-yard play. 60-something yard play.
Right,
Holy
I'm caught up now. I'm caught up. Except he just to be
posted that DB. Man, what? Yeah. This is going to go over. I would live bet the over right now. I feel like this is going to be a crazy game.
I'd love to see them being aggressive.
Maybe not financial advice, but the Bears are obviously not thrilled about how they blew last week and are defeated. I don't know. How do you say that? Unwinning? They haven't won.
We're struggling tonight.
Winless.
Winless. We're all struggling.
That's the word.
Now, that's a good time to ask what's everyone's drinking status. I guess, Gretch, you're sober, I assume.
Yeah, no, I'm pounding the
Gretch drank for 2 weeks in a row last week. And,
yeah, I'm good. I'm good this week.
I'm back on my tequila sipper here. What about you, Pat?
I got the beer going. This is very interesting that every week Pete is just moderation. He just has a drink like a human. And then me and Gretch are just alternating weeks.
It's really what's happened. Yeah.
Well, I've actually had to think through my strat for this, right? Because I was like, I can't go too hard. I don't want to just be, doing nothing here. But also I'm like, if I have 3 beers right at the top and then stop, I'm going to get super tired. So sipping the tequila has been kind of the play for me here. For the audio listeners, our core entry tonight, we have Sam Howell higher than 9 passing first downs. I'll let Pat talk about those first downs in Gretch here in a second. Jahan Dotson, 42.5 rush or receiving yards, higher there. And then Cole Kmet higher than 3 receptions. Which one of you flagged the passing first downs?
That was me. But since I'm eating a sandwich, I'll let Gretch talk about why he liked the rushing prop for Howell, and then I came and shot that down and pitched first down.
So Howell's rushing prop was it was 13 yards, right? And pick. Let me go find what I wrote about it. His totals working backwards were 40 rushing yards last week, 18, 13, and 11. So basically he has tied that 13 number once, went under it in week 1 by 2 yards, went over it the other 2 weeks. I also feel like, he holds the ball a lot. We know that he takes a lot of sacks, but the Bears have a weak pass rush, so I kind of wrote that his pass rush. DJ Moore TD. He is already
DJ Moore drive. Wow.
Yeah, he is smashing. That's great. That the Bears' weak pass rush would help him turn some of the sacks into scrambles when he holds the ball too long. There's kind of 2 ways to read that. And Pat, you said the other way when you were talking about not wanting to necessarily play as rushing, that the weak pass rush would allow him to kind of deliver the ball downfield. I do still think we just got a penis on the telestrator. But anyway, I do still think that he throws the ball. I do still think that there's going to be some plays where he doesn't make the reads down the field and then just scrambles. I just think the sacks go away and there's still some scrambles.
Yes. And someone was asking in the chat, and I was talking about this with Gretch earlier too. The Jahan Dotson, the receiving line and the rush receiving line were the exact same. I got very excited. I was like, dude, they're going to let us free roll these rushing yards. And then Ben, you made a very astute point.
Yeah, some of these receivers, I've noticed this a couple times, so I was wondering why they do it. Some of these receivers that only are going to get 0 or 1 rushes, sometimes they get 1 carry for -4 yards. I think Rashee Rice did it the other week. And so you get an element where I think you're still free rolling it. I think you're still at least twice as likely to get positive rush yards if there's a carry. But some of these receivers on the end arounds will end up just losing yards on their 1 rush, and it'll actually be a negative. So I think that's part of why they do the same number.
Yeah, and then the
higher it is, the more likely you want to take on the risk, I would guess, right?
That makes sense.
If it was only 13 receiving yards or something, why would we even bother with the rush?
Yeah,
that makes sense.
But the reason we got on the first downs, you're right. I was kind of thinking about the other way, where if there's no pass rush, there's less pressure for him to kind of scoot out and start running and everything. But also Howell is not super, super high in allowed pressure. If you look at PFF, they show which quarterbacks are allowing pressure at a high rate. That's not really his problem. It is a problem, but it's not a massive, massive problem. The problem is that when he gets pressured, he takes sacks, way higher than anyone else. So if there's no pressure, and there won't be no pressure, but if there's lower pressure, I think that creates a really good environment for Howell to just kind of operate and do what he wants to do. And so I think I think the Commanders are going to have some success here. I love that the Bears just scored a touchdown, because one of the only concerns I had about this was that maybe they run it through Brian Robinson. You can run on the Bears very easily, but Eric Bieniemy's been passing a lot, and I was kind of trusting that they would do that. And so it's just a bet that like the Commanders have a functional offense that's running through Howell, and he's able to deliver against the Bears defense that can't get to him.
You sound like a fantasy analyst. I'm buying what you're selling, man. I'm buying.
Love it.
Pete, we got a super chat already that said, shout out to your stamina. What's your schedule been like today?
No, I think he's referencing that I said I hadn't eaten all day, unless he got access to something else that I don't know about. I wouldn't put it past Tyler. Yeah. So then we did do here. Let me do the form that Pat mentioned, and let me preface this again, because there are already a bunch of people who filled out this form twice. Let me make this clear. If you've already filled out the form that we were about to drop in there, you don't need to fill it out. We already have 222 some responses in here, but this is basically how we are going to determine the winner of this giveaway when we hit our core in pick 'em, not if, when. We're going to give $400, and we're going to draw it from this list. So I'm going to share this here. You got to be an Underdog user, and you just need to give us your YouTube username and your Underdog username in this form. If you've already filled it out, I am begging you not to fill it out again. Absolutely begging you. Yes. Did you guys see all the stuff this week about the team in first place, Walrus Balls?
That was hilarious.
I saw that video.
It was so funny. Yeah.
I loved it.
And then Rudman admitted that you were right, Pete. Rudman was like, I worry about this
all the time.
Yeah. This stuff was great. Yeah, I saw it loosely. I've been sick and I've been kind of in and out a little, but I loved the video that Lou, right?
Yeah,
those guys made.
That was
and
PD, also from the Deposit Kingdom, who did the Chasing Waterfalls parody.
And then right when he hits it, there's a picture of a walrus ball. Like, I don't know what a walrus ball is, but once I saw it, I was like, that's a walrus ball.
Yeah. And then I was singing that for the entire evening. I had that stuck in my head.
No, that's Logan Thomas.
Who are you fist pumping, Pat?
Oh, passing first down. I thought you were talking about Cole Kmet. Catches.
You guys are like, what? Hey, that's Logan Thomas. Got passing first downs here, guys.
I didn't know if you were like victory lapping some, like, oh yeah, for 1 week I
didn't get it.
Thomas as an 18th round tight end.
You didn't get it? Oh my God, Logan.
3rd inches.
You're blowing it.
And it does have to be passing first down, so no tushy pushy first downs.
No tushy pushy, yeah. I don't think we're going to get this one.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I don't know
what happened there. All I see is him getting. Oh, that was Brian Robinson.
Logan couldn't have extended that an inch.
Come on, Logan. Cole Turner.
They got a punt. No, this is great.
That's brutal, man.
Script. This is the script we want. We want the Bears to get out in front, and then Sam Howell throwing all day. Wow, he just got right through the interior of the line. That seems like probably not a good move on third.
Ayo throwing in the towel on the Dotson dream pretty quickly here.
There's a lot of. I love how quickly everyone overreacts to stuff. It's fantastic.
Speaking of that, Gretch, what was it? I checked in on your mentions for a half sec on your Kyle Pitts tweet. I mean, that thing went nuclear.
No, that was great because I set up the thing where you can get paid by Twitter. Like I subscribe to Twitter, and then I set up the thing where you can get paid literally like the day before after I did an Isaiah Pacheco tweet that went nuclear. And so then I just threw that out there and was like, all right, well, I'll make some money by tweeting about Kyle Pitts. Like I literally just tweeted it.
Did you? What do you make? Like $3?
I don't know. No, I haven't seen anything yet. I don't know if I'm supposed to do something else, but it does say that I'm eligible. So who knows?
Here's the tweet for the audio listeners. Kyle Pitts is younger than Dalton Kincaid and Luke Musgrave, who combined for fewer yards in college 2 years ago than the 1,000 plus yards Pitts put up in the NFL. Don't lose the plot. 86 replies here.
I spent a long time on the don't lose the plot thing. I was like, what do I write here? I almost said something about we're losing recipes or, I mean, the point was that like Kyle Pitts doesn't.
What was the plot?
What about a recipe?
Chef's kiss. I mean, chef's
Yeah.
kiss. It's great. It's perfect. It makes you. It makes me a little mad. Like it's such like a murr. Like it made me
exactly.
like I'm with you, but I'm like, don't tell me stuff.
Don't tell me what I know.
It's perfect. It's so good for engagement. It's like truly the perfect thing.
Did you mute? Do you mute the thread after that?
I didn't mute this one. I do often mute them. Yeah, when they go like this. Most of the comments were good. I don't know. I mean, it was it was pretty funny. I got a lot that were like, do we start him? And
that was a good one. The therapy one was good.
Yeah,
it's a good tweet when people are getting 100+ likes replying to a reply to your tweet. That's how you know.
Yeah, the third down. That was good.
So these are our other pick 'em. So we had the core here. Sam Howell, higher than 9 passing first downs. Jahan Dotson, higher than 42.5 rush receiving yards. Cole Kmet, higher than 3 receptions. We did do one here that was Antonio Gibson, lower than 18.5 rushing yards. He's only cleared this number once this year, last week against the Eagles. And then Brian Robinson, higher than 65.5 rushing yards. And then we did a very similar thing here. Brian Robinson, 65.5 rushing yards on the other alt one, but then swapped out the Antonio Gibson lower with the TJ Edwards ball tackling Brian Robinson during all of those carries, over or higher than 9 tackles and assists. And boy, did we get some street cred for going back to the IDP well.
That's right. And then, I mean, look, you go look at TJ Edwards' numbers and, he's hit 9 or more in every game, and that's 4 games, and that's the extent of the analysis.
Well, it's not the true extent of the analysis, because we did also take Brian Robinson over, and Brian Robinson, I love this point, Gretch. You're like, he's not breaking long runs; it's just chugging along. He's probably getting tackled by a linebacker a lot, so
it correlates.
It genuinely correlates. Like, a linebacker is going to make that tackle like a large percentage of the time.
Seems like,
so it's perfect.
If he's getting to 65 rush yards, TJ Edwards is getting there. That is a correlation.
I just looked up to see. TJ Edwards has 1 tackle. 1 tackle, baby.
What number is he? This will help my sweat here.
DJ Moore wide open twice already. He's
so 53. Good. That's a good linebacker number too. I'm into that. I can root for 53.
Nick says in the chat 4 for 4 was all over it. I know Ryan Noonan over there does tackle stuff over there. I do have to confirm I didn't look at his stuff, but I feel great that the new process where I tried to look up tackles actually worked, and I got on the same thing that Noonan was on.
That's amazing.
About it.
Did you guys see in the
we
Discord?
Accidentally no ball.
We accidentally no ball, exactly.
Did you guys see in the Discord? Our guy DFS Texas posted a screenshot of our pick 'em entry screenshot circulating in the ETR Discord and some of the conversation around it.
No.
It was really funny. So it posted, it says, I like the top 2. Komet at 3 is okay, I guess. And then someone goes, who is that from? Ship It Nation?
What is that? That kitchen roast says with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Ship It Nation giving out the shippers.
That's fantastic.
Oh, man. Komet over 3, I think it's not sexy, but the reason for that was I was looking at the target rates for Komet and DJ Moore, and they're like very similar. So
that's what they have, the same amount of targets on the season before that drive.
Yeah, so it's just a bet on on the target rates.
Komet's been playing really well.
Yeah, yes. I wish we'd gone with, because I said DJ Moore does have a much higher ADOT, so his like upside's higher, and that would have already hit.
But it would have been just such
a
we would have been so insufferable for the rest of, they really got to make us work for it.
That's a good point. They are really trying to get there with DJ tonight. Did they get this? Sneaker, are they? Ooh. One official's got it. The top official's got it short. Bottom official wins out and calls it a.
I'm not convinced he got it.
I'm not either.
Me neither.
Top official definitely had him short. And he looked up his buddy and was like, all right, fine. You can have this. Oh, yeah, they got him pushed. Yeah. That was a well-executed tush push there. They kept pushing him.
I like how he looked at his buddy and said, yeah, you can have this one. But it's probably not that far off from the way this stuff actually works.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you got this. I'm going to go back over here.
Is this where we do a rant about how do they not have a chip in the ball at this point? I feel like that's what you're always supposed to say when there's ambiguity to a short yardage situation.
Ball. I think they should have a chip. I think they should have a chip in the ball except for Thursday Night Football, and they just wing it on Thursday nights.
Robert Tonyan already has 2 catches. What's going on?
Directionally accurate, fellas. Directionally accurate.
You know what favorite thing about the chip in the ball thing is if you stop and think about it for like 2 seconds, it makes absolutely no sense because it's not just where the ball is. You have to know the moment at which obviously a body part touches the ground. It's not like the ball goes to the turf or something and we could be like, oh yeah, activate the chip at this moment. It's where was the ball when the knee was down,
hey,
right?
Gretch, why don't I just put chips in the knee pads then?
Yeah, but then you need them in the elbows and the shoulders and the helmet and the butt and everything. Khalil Herbert. He's loose.
I had a chip put in me yesterday during that emergency broadcasting, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
It's a real shame they did that to everyone.
Yeah. You know what they should do? See, this is what it should be. They should do like those old Fox style hockey broadcasts where you had like the glow around the puck. That's what they need it. And then you can watch the TV back and freeze and see where was the most forward part of the ball thanks to the glow trail.
Tired, chips in the ball, wired, glow trail.
Well, the Bears.
I rewound to look at this run. This is a nice run here.
It was, dude. The Rashod like snap rates and stuff is crazy. It's gone down basically every single week.
Well, I wrote
Herbert's good. Like I get why they want to play him.
Yeah,
but it's just weird that it started the other way.
For sure.
There's Komet. We got one. Let's go.
Did he fumble that?
I mean, that'd be great. We gotta keep him in passing scenarios. The week 1, they got blown out, and most of that was garbage time. I wrote about that in signals, but he played when because Foreman was still active in week 1, but he looked really good. But he played the vast majority of the late part of that game. And then he's been playing a lot of negative scripts. And then last week, they were mostly in pretty heavy positive script. So my read wasn't that like Roshan's lost work. I think from week 1 to week 2, I remember after week 2 in Stealing Signals, I wrote that it was a positive that Rashod in a little bit more normal script maintained his snap share essentially, like didn't lose a ton because he had mostly played. There's Komet again. We got 2 right there in a row.
There's 2.
Let's go.
Yeah.
He mostly played in week 1 in garbage time. Week 2, actually, they deactivated Foreman and played in a little bit more normal parts of the game, which was nice. And even though his snap rate came down a little bit, it was a little bit of more of a real signal workload. Week 3, a little bit of the same, but they were way behind the Chiefs. And then last week they were ahead. And I think we learned that in positive game script that they just are going to strongly prefer Herbert. So, anyway, that's been my read on this progression.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Man, they're kicking a field goal, 4th and 1.
That's such a cowardly move there.
It's so cowardly.
It's beautiful. Gotta love how cowardly that is. We want to keep this close.
Where were you guys, speaking of cowardly moves, where were you guys on the Commanders not trying to win the game going for 2 last week? I thought that was super cowardly.
That was incredibly cowardly.
Against the Eagles, I get it if you're playing the Broncos or something, and you just want we'll go toe to toe with you with another possession or drive, but come on.
Well, they were so lucky to be in that position anyway, right? Like they kind of had the last minute drive sort of thing, and Like, just put the dagger in, end it.
Yeah, I mean, the announcers are like the casuals. The announcer ball are always saying, if you're an underdog and if you're on the road, that's when you do it. They're massive underdogs. They got out to an early lead, and then Philly pretty much outplayed them for the middle half of that game. Let's say like second and third quarter or whatever, where they went from like Washington 7-point lead to Philly 7-point lead. They kind of outplayed them by like 14 and tilted the game. But Washington stuck with them enough that they were within distance to score at the end. Go for fucking like it's the most obvious situation to go for. This team is playing better football than you because a lot. My point is the underdog thing can maybe be thrown out if on the actual day of the game you feel like your team's actually playing right with them. But I think at that point you can pretty much say for the previous like 2 to 3 quarters, Philly had been pretty clearly outplaying them. Yeah, I mean, even if you're gassed, it doesn't.
Oh, timeout.
I don't even. Yeah, I mean, they're out of timeout.
Maybe they didn't have
How
time.
to get a better conditioning program? I don't know.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Figure it out, man.
What does being gassed mean for your probability of converting one play? Like, yeah, Zach makes a great point. So are the Eagles. Like, they're tired too. My thing is like, yeah, like going to overtime. I don't know. You're definitely a bigger dog in overtime than on one play to score from 2 yards, right?
I think so.
The 2-point conversion league average is like 55%. You're gassed, so maybe you're down to 45%, but I think you're 40% in overtime at best. Like you're not as good as the
game
Eagles.
Penalty, push the ball back 5 yards and do the play again.
Then you're really adding some problems, but yeah, maybe.
Yeah, Kevin Cole talks about this a lot. Like people often is just like, if you did this, you'd get to go to overtime. It's like the point is not to go to overtime. The point is to win the game. So
love going to overtime to play the team who made it to the Super Bowl last year and has the most explosive offense in football. Love that for my team.
Yeah.
And I mean,
right,
even
Sam
if
Howell.
they're tired as hell, they just scored on the previous play. Like there's a little bit of an emotional, boost there. I don't know. I mean, yeah, maybe they just would come out really flat on the ensuing snap and they would just get absolutely stuffed in the backfield and they'd lose and it would look terrible and everything. But not much worse than it looks to go to OT and not look good on the first drive and then give up a field goal drive and lose. Like they had a 3-and-out, and then the Eagles just moved right down the field and kicked a field goal. And that was, I mean, congrats.
That's that.
Yeah, I was actually just going to bring this up. Pat, were you secretly rooting for another Sam Howell meltdown there to get us closer to the Jacoby Brissett whispers? Because I think Howell's leash is a lot longer after that game.
Yeah, that was not good for my take. Luckily, I was arguing with Sean about Howell, Kenny Pickett, and Desmond Ridder. So I think I'm feeling generally good about my those guys aren't the key to the season take. But Howell, who I was probably most adamant on, is looking pretty good. Like I think he's making me nervous. He's both like kind of as bad as I was worried he would be with taking sacks and everything. And we saw that in the Bills game. But when he's good, he looks really good. So, yeah, he's going to have to melt down probably 2 to 3 more times to like legitimately get it. He definitely has a leash. I would expect, although, again, like my big thing was, why am I going to build my teams around a quarterback who might not be playing in the fantasy playoffs? So, like, if he gets benched even in like week 15, I feel like I win. But it's gonna be a while. If he gets benched, it'll be a while from
now. Shout out to some of our super chat kings here. Bindles, don't go chasing walrus balls. Tyler, another Rojo bites the dust. Daily Rojo. For the new people are old enough, probably think that your handle references Roshan Johnson and not even Ronald Jones, Pat.
Who's Ronald Jones?
Oh, come on, man. Don't do that to me. What I don't know, if everyone in the chat is a no suspension law. If we have any suspension lawyers in the chat, is Rojo able to serve a suspension as not on a team, or does he have to get signed by a team and then serve a suspension?
I think he already served a suspension.
Oh, and now he's been cut? Okay.
I thought he was on the Cowboys practice squad and then was cut or something. I don't know.
Is that what? Okay.
I'm sure a ball knower in the chat.
I was just worried he was forever suspended because no one will sign him.
That's hilarious.
All right, Sam, can we get a first down? Jeez.
No, but we can get a rushing yard.
Yeah.
We'd only need 12 more. Yeah, no, the Bears D actually looks good. Like they're stuffing Brian Robinson too.
They actually look good. Yeah, this is worrying.
The Bears.
The one time I got on board with Sam Howell.
Yeah, the Bears are prideful tonight, guys. They blew a huge lead on Sunday, and there's a couple ways you can come back from that. And this is we sent Chase Claypool home, and everyone else is playing way harder because Chase Claypool is no longer a part of the team bump.
It motivated everyone. Was Chase Claypool, because Chase Claypool was part of like the Juju Steelers TikTok phenomenon where everyone was like, these guys, all they care about is making TikToks. I should do a little research here. Was Chase Claypool still grinding TikTok through all of this?
Maybe those guys should have spent less time on TikTok. I hate to be a boomer, okay? But just look at the results. Just look at what happened, okay? That's all I'm saying. Just look at what happened after they were on TikTok.
It's not great. TikTok is like known to be. I've never gotten on it because I've heard from the people that are on it that it's like hyper addictive, and it's like been like they've done studies, and it's the most addictive of all of the social medias, right?
Careers is what people say.
It's ruining NFL players'
August. So he hasn't been distracted by TikTok. It's been a while.
He's probably on it though. On the sidelines during games. Maybe that's what he's been doing during plays.
Likes are blocked. Otherwise, that would be very fun to see what he's liking on TikTok.
He's all those film shots of him not doing anything during the middle of the play. Maybe he's been flipping his phone out, and we haven't been able to see from that angle, and he's just kind of watching TikTok during the snaps.
Now, I know Joe Horn once hit a phone in the goalpost and used it as a prop after a touchdown. But, well, how many times do you think he did that before he scored a touchdown?
That's a good question. But that was great. I loved that.
All right.
As a kid, I was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
It was cool. I thought it was cool too. All right, but then that's happened. So we know phones have made it onto fields. But has there ever been a player who's been caught just like texted on sidelines? Like I assume that would be a huge, right? They can't be doing that stuff.
What are you doing right now?
I was watching the video that it was actually a funny TikTok. Chase Claypool.
He got pulled into TikTok. We're live on a stream. Yeah. TikTok's so addictive. He was getting pulled in.
And then I got pulled in.
He had a photo shoot where he was in this cowboy hat. And he Googled how long is typical to last on a bull. And then he wrote the caption, they gave me a cowboy hat because I only last 8 seconds. And then he sent the post. It's pretty good. If you guys want, the Shipcast, in the future, the Shipcast is just you guys watching us surf social media just quietly and not saying anything.
It's a watch along to TikTok now.
The thing about the 3+ hour streams is we've run out of content. It's week 5. All we got now is TikTok.
Don't put this on me.
It's dirty. I saw that pic of Davis. He's got the stash going now and the real long hair.
Yeah.
He's looking dirty.
That's why they call him the Dirty Boys.
Yeah. Impressive.
More DJ Moore feasting. Oh my God, that was a bad tackle.
Is really good.
Oh, now I'm behind.
Oh,
DJ Moore is so good. I want all the people that argued with me on Twitter about DJ Moore for like 10 years and told me he sucked to.
Are you going to middle this, Gretch? Are you going to victory lap?
Oh, 100%. I was always going
to because you said we couldn't take him.
No, I don't think you really even want him on your fantasy team still, but he's amazing. So there you go. I'm middle.
This is the most edged thing. Oh, everyone in my mentions tell me he sucks. You definitely don't even want to draft him. You don't want to draft him, but
I mean, the first 3 weeks he had 30 total points. Like the point was he doesn't really have a legit full season ceiling. And then the last 2 weeks he's had these big spike weeks, which are awesome. And it's super fun to watch.
This guy's trying to have his cake and eat it too.
Yeah. What did you guys end up with your DJ Moore exposure in Best Ball Mania?
I drafted him because I believe in him, unlike Ben.
I took him one time. I just didn't like his price. Took him one time, 2 times, maybe 3 times. I don't know. Not a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, you want my exposure numbers. Do you know how much effing DJ Moore I've taken since he's been a rookie? And you know how many times I've literally
I don't
had
care
to go...
about your exposures last year, man.
I mean, it's kind of relevant that I was on Twitter, taking on the whole timeline, like freaking Jon Snow, every time he had a bad game with Carolina. And people have referenced this. They know what I'm talking about. I went there and just, I'm going to bitch about DJ Moore and defend DJ Moore for, I think
DJ Moore
built
won
up
people millions of dollars last year too.
I know. I think I built up enough truth or status that I can say, look, I didn't think his price was great, and I still think it's going to play out that way, but it's super fun to see him succeeding.
Yeah, but other truthers are allowed to review about it.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I'll tell you,
I'm just saying,
DJ Moore, I had 10.4% DJ Moore, so comfortably.
I even literally wrote that part of the reason I was writing about how bad his price was I wanted to make the bet at a cheaper price, and I hoped that he would fall down to the 6th or 7th round so I could draft him. That was in the piece that I wrote about DJ Moore.
Well, I was real happy. I was all proud because I told you about my trick, and I wrote about
yeah,
this.
I was just going to roast you for this in your video. I was the only reason you had it is because you were so proud of taking DJ Moore first and pushing Justin Fields.
That's right.
A little tushy-pushy of Justin
Fields. A little
tushy-pushy
in fantasy. I should have called it the tushy push. Yeah, but I told Ben about it, and it worked. It worked. Maybe your only share of DJ Moore's because
I did do that on one share, and I was super pumped. I said if you take DJ Moore, you got to take Fields with him. That if you want to play DJ Moore, play him through Fields. And I stand by that too. I think Fields is gonna if DJ Moore hits like this, it's better for Fields. Yeah. I think.
I have 7.3% DJ Moore, a perfectly cromulent, just enough to say he's slightly overpriced, but I still see the single.
That is perfect. That is perfect. You can middle it.
Exposure.
You can middle it. Yeah. I'm just a bull.
My argument would be if you search DJ Moore and my username on Twitter, you'll find a longer list of tweets than a weekly version of stealing signals.
Don't do it, guys. He's just trying to rake in that newfound X cash now that he turned.
Yeah, he's just trying to make money on X now.
You got me. You got me. Let's
Daniel has Ben's a genius. When Moore has a bad game, he refers to the 2023 take. When Moore explodes, he reminds us of his pre-2023.
Right.
That's how you do it.
Right. This is exactly how you do it.
No, you just chase it every single year. That's why I'm waiting.
You chase it every year forever.
Forever.
I do think it would be fun if there was a rule every time you do one of those condescending ass tweets of there were actually people out there fading David Montgomery. You should be required to post your entire set of exposures for Best Ball Mania so that we can all be oh, look at all the fucking league winners you were fading too, you Barry Pickens dumbass. It's such a fucking cherry-picked condescending tone every single time.
Every time.
I know you whiffed on a million things, you jackass.
4%. 4%. So I still look. I talked a lot of shit about DJ Moore, and I still draft him half as much as. I didn't completely give up.
All right. 4% is pretty low. I was about to say a 4% Nashi, but I definitely don't.
Why didn't you
guys want to guess?
I got a lot of 0% because I only drafted 100 teams. I didn't draft 1,000 teams like you.
I drafted 693 teams. You want to guess my share of Najee?
How many teams did you say?
I drafted. Well, I'm going to ask you to guess the percent drafted, but I drafted 693.
I'm going to guess you have 1.4% Najee.
I'm going to guess it's under 1, and I'm going to say 0.3%.
You guys don't know me at all. 0.1, baby.
Ah! I knew it was under 1. 693 means you would have had to have drafted 7 times to get to 1%. And I was like, no way.
No, I think I must have drafted him like so. I have $50 of exposure, and I honestly think it might be whatever that $50 tournament was. I think I might have drafted him once.
You must have drafted him.
I drafted him once.
Yeah.
So I drafted.
Oh my
God, he scored again. He's so good. Best player ever. God, I mean, I wish you guys were in on him as early as I was in on him.
It's so good. I'm in on this bit now. It's a good bit.
I wish everybody would have been as a real DJ Moore hipster like me. It just got too cool after a while, and so I had to,
Should we uninvite Dink and have Leone come on to talk about why DJ Moore was such a bad pick?
Why you couldn't possibly take DJ Moore over DJ Moore and Brandon Ayuk. He was completely out on. Defend yourself, Leone. Although he can't. This is actually deeply unfair. He's not here. Christian Kirk though is coming back, looking like a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, Kirk is one, us, Leone and I taking the L on Calvin Ridley. God, we took that L way too quick.
I took the L on that too.
Yeah.
I also did a little laugh on Christian
round
Kirk.
Calvin Ridley drafters are going to be hanging a big L by the end of the season.
Maybe. I think he could still get there.
He's going to have some good games,
soon.
but it's going to be like they're going to be like a worse version of the Niners, right? Where they're going to every other game is going to be one of them, but they're not going to have as many blow up games as the Niners do.
Josh Norris just tweeted, has DJ Moore ever had a 2 TD game? He's tweeting through it the opposite of the way that I'm tweeting through it.
Justin Fields had to unlock him. It is crazy that this is definitively the best quarterback play he's ever had, right?
Yes, yeah. That is crazy.
All right, update from Drew Dinkmeyer. I don't know if this was mentioned in privately. Said he'll be there soon. I may or may not have timed my multi-tabling NBA best ball drafts great, so need to get at least one off the board. So Dink will be here shortly once he's done drafting NBA best ball teams.
Amazing. And he's going to be drafting still while he's here.
Now that's a Davis Maddock homage right there.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm legitimately pumped for DJ Moore. This is great. This is cool. One of the times that I was doing the Jon Snow DJ Moore thing was an island game. I'm pretty sure it was a Thursday night game. He only had 4 catches. It was against the Bucks. And I frickin' spent the rest of the night telling people they were wrong for saying DJ Moore sucked, basically. So full circle. He's scoring touchdowns on Thursday night.
I will say, the take that I remember you had, Gretch, was if you did do DJ Moore, you wanted those guys together. You wanted DJ Moore and Fields together, which is, I think, a pretty good take.
Right. Or if you want to play Moore, you could just play it through Fields was sort of my point. Moore's going to have some spike games like this, but if he's really the impact on their passing game that people want him to be, that I think it's really great for Fields. In these last 2 weeks, it's been Fields has looked way better because of it. Who's that? Curtis Samuel?
Yeah.
Curtis Samuel couldn't fight for a first down for our guy Sammy Howell. Do we have a single passing first down?
They don't have a first down, I don't think.
They don't have a first down at all.
Yeah, you're right.
As a team, yeah. Don't lose the plot on DJ Moore. Will's right. I lost the plot on DJ Moore a little bit.
I distinctly remembered that I did get auto-drafted Najee and a big dog. That I forgot I was drafting when I was at the dog park. First down.
And
first down.
He tried to hit him in the ankles.
And so I did just find that. So I've actually drafted Najee. Exposures are weird. There's 2 different ways to look at them.
Nice catch, Logan Thomas.
Yeah, that was.
We could really use a score here.
So DJ Moore's stat line right now, 5 for 137 yards and 2 TDs in the first 15 minutes.
That's fantastic. It is tilting that I'm not benefiting from that anywhere
because
I've looked at all. That's a Dotson.
Oh my God.
Dotson, you got Pat. You introduced a new sweat to me. I didn't know Jahan Dotson getting tackled 1 yard short of the sticks could tilt me until tonight. Holy shit.
He got ragdolled down to the ground too.
Like, that's a gimme.
Just dive for it. Cut back and dive through them. Go low and forward.
Yeah.
If you
so
just
with that second down though, 2nd and 1, so they'll pass here.
Shoot
inside handoff.
This is such a good time to take a shot.
I knew that was coming. I know ball, guys.
But our five pick 'em has Brian Robinson at 4 carries for 3 yards right now, so it's gonna need these rushes as well.
An up the gut rush on 2nd and 1 is so cowardly.
It really is.
You can do that twice after 2nd and 1. If you're not a coward, you can do it on 3rd and 4th down. So just take a fucking shot on 2nd down.
This guy knows ball.
Let's see.
Score.
Here. Yeah. The Gibson lower. Definitely no rushing yards yet.
He doesn't even play is the best part about that one. I loved that one when he set it out because I was like, he doesn't get carries. They refuse to rush him. He plays half the snaps, but they
Well, that's what I like that you win either way, right? Because if they're blowing him out, they're just running Brian Robinson. And if they're behind, they'll just use him in passing scenarios too and not give him rushes.
In almost every game, their snap shares have been pretty close, and yet
let's go.
There we go. Logan Thomas coming through for us.
Our guy.
Is Logan Thomas our generation Zach Ertz?
I thought you were gonna say Travis Kelce.
No, I wouldn't do that to him. All right. We got a Raymond Summerlin tweet here.
A request for Raymond Summerlin's Claypool tweet.
I feel like Tyler pays Raymond to tweet something and then pays us to pull the tweet up. I feel like this is something that
we're all a part of Tyler's just web of
we're
influence.
just being played here.
Raymond Summerlin is a big Dotson guy, so
going deep. Oh! Why did he throw it? I mean, you can leave that out too. I hate when guys miss upfield on that throw because you can miss wide. There's no safety to the right side of this. We're gonna get an end zone look here. That safety's up. You have so much room to throw that to the right. And he overthrows it vertically. You could have so much room to miss to the open side of the field for a long touchdown.
Right. You don't have to. You can loft it more and.
Right. He can slow down and run underneath it and be moving horizontally and then score. It's not it doesn't need to be caught in stride at all. Ooh, bad.
Raymond's tweet, step 1, cut Chase Claypool. Step 2, profit. Although, did the Steelers offense, did they get better when they got rid of Chase Claypool?
No, but they drafted Kenny Pickett.
Just let it go, Pat. The Kenny Pickett wounds.
I mean, just let it go. I barely won.
No, I need to take that L with you, Pat, because I talked a lot about Kenny Pickett. Even before his injury in this last game, I wrote up a play where he had a really bad miss too. I mean, he was
oh my God, man. And a flag.
Whew.
Dude,
see, this is the chaos we're talking about. This is the best Thursday night game we've had.
Well, this is the most agonizing first down sweat. I don't know. Does a touchdown count? Does a touchdown pass count as a first down?
It does. Yeah.
It does?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
It's an official first down in NFL
stats. That should count as a first down pass too.
Yeah.
I don't believe it does.
Yeah. Too. I'm gonna go send a strongly worded DM to Rudman right now.
Come on, Rudman. 3rd and 4, so it was holding. It wasn't defensive pass interference. Or it wasn't holding. What was it? Holding would have been automatic first down. What was the penalty?
3rd and 4
offside.
is perfect for us.
It was offsides.
I see.
Free play. So actually, Howell throwing it up into coverage like that makes perfect sense.
Oh my God.
Why did that flag get thrown?
Was that offsides again?
It seemed
that
like
flag came from the side judge right at the snap.
Yeah.
It's either offsides or like an illegal
big.
formation. That's the only other thing it could be is like the receiver covered up the tight end or whatever.
That's what it is.
It was them. They declined it. So it was that must have been some type of illegal formation.
Well, I hope Dink's really enjoying those NBA drafts. About halfway through the second quarter here.
I told him no rush, but maybe I shouldn't have said no rush. He's really taking that to heart.
I mean, if he wants to sub in for like another quarter, we do have 2 more to choose from.
Nathan Yankee tweeted, you can drop Antonio Gibson from your fantasy team when it's 3rd and 9 and Brian Robinson Jr. is staying on the field. It's true.
Why are you still rostering Antonio Gibson?
Man, the Bears. 1 loss to the Broncos was all it took. Welcome up.
Leone's on Twitter taking an L on TJ4 right now.
Is he?
Leone's so quick to take L's. He's trying to get out in front of the mentions. That's what he's trying to do.
This is what David Davis led the charge here.
You immediately.
Yeah. That's the move.
Leone says he quote tweeted his post from September 14th about being worried about these 3 players, Christian Kirk, DJ Moore, Rashod White. He said, if you would like me to turn the season around for one of your players, it's only a small fee.
Amazing.
Wow.
Chips
now,
definitely
do Pollard.
Do Pollard.
He should do Pollard. That'd be worth a small fee.
Can I? Yeah, I would like him to be worried about JSN. Please.
Yeah, JSN would be a good one. So you've turned on Pickett now? You're out?
Who? Me?
My main point on him, I mean, we always had fun with it, but my main point on him when we had real serious conversations was we didn't know yet, was that like last year's numbers were obviously terrible, but that they like the EPA stuff was hiding some of the like turnover worthy plays that weren't like, I've referenced that a bunch where like some of his turnovers weren't even turnover worthy plays. And the lack of touchdowns and stuff wasn't great. I do feel like we're getting more and more information every time I watch him. I'm like, he's making some bad reads at times that I feel like I'm ready to say that he's not good. I never thought he was like a good prospect is my point. Yeah. In my sense, like no one ever thought he was like a great prospect. I just thought he could be good in this system. They'd throw a lot. He had good receivers. But like, I mean, the one he had this week, I wrote about in Signals, they ran a combo route like we've talked about on the last couple of episodes where like the front guy or the first read was run to the front pylon. Second guy's run to the back pylon. It's a 3rd and goal from the 5. And they're down 16-3. It's a huge, like, you need to convert this touchdown, make it 16-10. They ended up settling for the field goal. The guy going to the front pylon, there's 2 defenders on that side of the field. He's looking to that side of the field. This is like very similar to the first read stuff we talked about. Both defenders go to the flat player, which is Allen Robinson, by the way. You shouldn't want to be throwing to him. And he gets pressured and rushed a little, and he just kind of throws it out beyond Allen Robinson, out of bounds at the front pylon. It lands out of bounds like near the front pylon, and never really processes that there's. You should pre-snap be realizing there's 2 defenders there. There's no 3rd defender coming, and if once you see during the play they both come to the front pylon, you got to throw over their head to the guy that's running the route in the back pylon. It's just like it has to happen like that. And if you can't do that, then you can't be an NFL QB. Like it's that simple. Like you have to be able to. It's a blown play. The announcers, the color commentator, looked at it too and said, "This is a blown play. It's a blown coverage. Like this is a." Yeah.
They also have like the worst offensive coordinator in football too. That like has to go.
But you have to be able to take advantage of blown coverages is the biggest thing. Like one play doesn't make his whole career, but like you have to be able to convert blown plays defensively. That's what his read should have been. And what I wrote was the only reason I can argue that he didn't do that was he made up his mind pre-snap that he wanted to go to the front pylon to Robinson. He was sort of already like, that was his read at the line of scrimmage, and he wasn't reading the play out because you have to read the defenders. Like when they both go to the flat, if you just throw it away to your flat guy, you're not realizing that means the other guy's open in the play.
Fields designed rush attempt.
Yeah, that one actually looked good.
It did look good. Maybe they should do that more. All right, so how are we feeling? We got Cole Kmet looking pretty good. We're one away there.
Yeah.
Sam Howell struggling with our first downs.
But 2 of them already. That's not terrible.
That's not terrible.
We had none in the first quarter, so I feel better now that we have 2 on the board.
Yeah, me too. And then Jahan Dotson.
Dotson was the other one.
Kmet?
Oh, there's Kmet.
Oh, let's go.
Is looking great. Great call, Pat. And Pete, I think you double stamped that. I was the one that was. I was like, all right, you guys love it. Let's do it. I didn't really like it, but I was like, whatever. Dotson, I just realized that offsides bomb. That would have got him there. He would have got the 42 yards on that play alone.
For sure.
Well, isn't he number 1? Wasn't that like Lauren?
I thought that was
the one in
the offsides.
The one in the end zone was Dotson.
I thought
that was the defender.
Yeah.
I thought that was
there were
to number 2
in the end zone. Yeah.
That was the deep shot that Howell overthrew was to
Johnny Brown. You're right. Yeah, you're right. That was Dotson. That would have gotten us there.
The other one was Dotson, yeah. And it looked
Rashod Johnson being evaluated for a concussion. Jeez.
Oh.
Herbert's going to have
he's going to have a big day.
We need to start formulating our takes for our halftime.
Well, Herbert would be
high
on the list.
Because what have we found in these we got like the Wan'Dale Robinson, like some of these really small, it's generally the trailing team, right? That hasn't had a ton of production. The numbers are really low for the skill position players. I feel like we've noticed that a couple weeks.
Yeah, the one of the ones I would want to look at is like Howell pass attempts, because I think if they're trailing, like they will throw a lot.
Yeah.
What did you just say, Pete, that you've noticed?
Well, just like remember the Wan'Dale Robinson one, it was like a half yard or whatever. Yeah. So like the team that's trailing, the lines for their team are really light as far as like, and those were the ones that we've kind of jumped on.
For sure. Some of the other things I've noticed is it seems like the guys that have gained a lot of yards in the first half, it's like it's not double their number. And the guys that haven't gained a lot, it's not. It's like it's predicting that the players that have converted a lot of yards in the first half are not going to convert a lot in the second half, and the players that haven't converted a lot in the first half are going to suddenly start doing a lot. It's like, well, what if you just bet into the trends that have happened in the first half, continuing? You know what I mean?
Well, we did that with Laporta, and it didn't work.
It didn't work.
Yeah,
did that with Laporta.
That was such a weird usage run out. Granted, they were controlling that game, but.
He looked so good in the first half. How do you not throw him the ball in the second half? It's crazy. They won comfortably, so it didn't matter. Look at him.
Will wants you to pound the table for the Commanders kicker under.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I mean, look, it's 17-3. Good coaches know you got to go for 2 touchdowns when you score the first one. Probably not going to get any extra points the rest of the way, you know? I didn't end up hitting. It was looking good. The Bears really do look a lot better with Chase Claypool off the field. Like, just get Equanimeous St. Brown out there as your other dude, and you're good to go.
We got a good point.
Him. My God, he's so big. I remember when he was like so small.
He got big.
What a good boy.
How's Murphy like in San Diego?
He loves it. He likes all the smells.
Have you taken him to the dog beach at Ocean Beach?
No, we haven't taken him to the dog beach at Ocean Beach. We've taken the dog beach on Coronado Island.
Oh, nice.
Which is really nice. He's like, it's so funny because when we let him off the leash, he like did this like bark back at us like that we somehow wronged him. Like I think what it really was is that we had to walk down the beach a little bit so he couldn't go off leash right away. But there's this feeling of like that he was like, this has existed on this fucking planet here until now.
Like, this is the first time.
That's
Coronado Island's so nice.
It's so nice.
Did you not know that I would like this?
Yeah, exactly.
You've been holding out on me.
That's how it felt.
Look at me. Look at me in the eyes. I like this.
If you find out about other things that are like this, take me.
Make sure I get a go.
Yeah,
that's great.
He had a blast. We need to take him again pretty soon. We're going to Brittany's brother is getting married, so we're going to Florida this weekend. And so Murphy's, we're going to have a dog sitter, so he's going to get to meet another family, and they got a dog, so hopefully that goes well. But I think he'll love it. He loves other dogs.
I love this. Has been your underdog fantasy dog moment of the week.
That was
Peter,
part of the deal.
Realizing I'm still
of
full
them
screen.
Sponsoring. They required one dog showing each episode. While we're talking dogs, by the way, you guys have heard me mention it. We talked about it on the Swolecast. They are doing the Dog Bowl promo again this week for every 4 Dog Bowl entries you do, which is the qualifier for the live final in Miami. You get $50 bonus cash. So it's essentially buy 4, and we just hit the Komet higher.
Komet over. Let's go.
So yeah, if you guys want to chase the Deposit Kingdom, shout out to our guy Chris G, OG, Ship Chaser, Deposit Kingdom.
Yeah, man.
Member punched his ticket to Miami this week.
Chris G loves Miami too. Like he's talked about Miami glowingly. Like Chris G getting to go to Miami is just so perfect.
When we were in Vegas this year, weren't we talking about like being in Miami next year and like drafting on a yacht
in Miami? Yeah,
I haven't been firing at the Dog Bowl because I was like, I got to write and stuff. I was like, am I really gonna try to book a Miami trip? Like, why fire at a thing that I might be like? But as soon as I found out Chris was going, I'm like, I'm gonna fire at this constantly. I gotta
fire this constantly. So Chris influenced you.
Chris is an influencer, dude. RFKD said Chris in Miami is going to be so lit. Nut outcome for Underdog. It's true. It's actually really good outcome for that.
Yeah.
You guys get so fucking spoiled with me producing Chipsy. I leave Pat on full screen for like an extra 4 seconds too long. I've tuned into a Liam stream where he's left the exact same chat comment up for 60 minutes. You fucking entitled chat rats. Get out of here, Chipsy. The guy who said he was multi-tabling NBA drafts while watching us is upset with my directorial skills over here.
Speaking of multi-tabling NBA drafts, Dink.
Yeah.
Where's Dink? Oh, Dink says he's backstage now. There he is.
Okay.
Sorry, Dink. I had the game broadcast over the hopper there. I didn't see you down there.
I've only been here since like the 10-minute mark in the second quarter. So.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh, no. How's it going, Drew? I just assumed you were so dialed in watching your Bears just competently move the ball down the field that you couldn't bear to come on here.
It was a challenge about whether I should come on and disrupt the first flow of offense that I've seen in the entire Justin Fields era. So, but we're gonna roll the dice and see if it can. If I'm the gatekeeper here to unlocking the Fields flow. But it's been nice. He's getting the ball out on time. It's crazy.
Yeah.
When you say the entire Justin Fields era, do you mean your entire life as a Chicago Bears fan?
Yeah, there was it's very funny. I'll ask around the room here. Who do you guys think? You can start with Pat. Pat, who do you think the best Bears quarterback of my lifetime has been?
Rex Grossman.
Jay Cutler?
I'm gonna go Josh McCown. I think Josh McCown is the best you guys had.
So my answer would be Eric Kramer, which is just, I mean, it's just a devastating answer to reveal. Rex got us to a Super Bowl, but really that was a lot of Devin Hester and a lot of the defense that kind of got them to the Super Bowl. Cutler was the most excited I had been about a quarterback until they drafted Justin Fields. That was pretty short-lived because everybody hated him within like a year and a half on the team and in the fan base. And so I think Eric Kramer had the most sustained success, which was like 2.5 years of decent quarterback play.
Literally never heard of this guy.
I'm 41, by the way. This is not like a short lifetime that I've had of quarterbacks here. So yeah, it's been.
I just looked it up. He started across 5 seasons with the Bears: 5 games, 16 games, 4 games, 13 games, and 8 games. And you remember him more fondly than any other quarterback.
Yeah. It's crazy. I think there were like 2 competent seasons there, and that's more than anybody else. So yeah.
That's rough.
It's a tough
life.
I Google him, and the first article is about him committing suicide, Drew.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Well, I Googled Eric Kramer spelled the wrong way, and it was a bunch of LinkedIn profiles.
Jeez.
Eric Kramer passed away. That's sad.
Yeah. Brutal.
Did not know that was the end of the story.
Yeah.
Sorry for the turn.
This is you got the wrong guy, bro. He's alive.
Oh my God!
Okay, I just went his Wikipedia and it's got born. It doesn't say died on his Wikipedia, and I'm looking at his stats and everything.
Okay, you tell me that if you think this article, Eric Kramer put a bullet through his head, this is what happened next. It should be a tragedy. I got clickbaited.
Oh no!
He attempted. Holy cow!
Oh,
all right. This story. He literally put a bullet through his brain.
Oh, he shot himself in the head but didn't die. Ooh!
Holy cow! Okay, you guys read this headline and tell me you don't think that he died.
Yeah, it's on his Wikipedia at the bottom. Wow. Attempted suicide by running a hotel room several miles away from his home and shooting himself in the head.
Yeah.
Because of his inexperience with firearms, the shot failed to inflict a fatal wound.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there you go.
Jeez.
Oh, Howell pick.
How you doing?
Great. That's exactly the contribution I wanted to bring to the show. So I'm feeling really great. I'm feeling really good about the few minutes I've been on.
Yeah. I would argue Dink took us down a dark rabbit
hole. We don't feel like you brought it down.
Don't
worry about it. We don't feel like that.
Yeah.
Oh, Dink, man. I'm the Sam Howell of this show.
Uh-oh. That makes you a very polarizing figure, I think.
Oh my God.
Maybe not for long.
Now I lost you for a second. I got you back now, I think.
We still got you.
Yeah, okay.
Were you on
Howell threw that interception past the sticks? Did we get a first down for that?
I'd take it. So, Dink, Leone's out here already taking L's on DJ Moore. Where were you on DJ Moore heading into the season?
I mean, I was much more on Leone's side. The race to capitulation at this company is just really out of control.
Leone is split to the capitulation line.
My God. I mean, I think Silva already capitulated on being too high on DJ Moore, and now Leone's capitulated on being too low on DJ Moore. And it's week 5. This is outrageous.
Right.
Like, God.
I got to say, man, like
fellas.
Hearing Silva capitulate on Dalvin Cook was a good lesson. Like I think as far as boosting the subscriber numbers and engagement, it was good. It was good for me.
Yeah, the race to capitulation is strong. I've just been watching basically the way that this happens is in the Slack chat, someone starts egging on the other people about their terrible earlier takes, and then they get so guilted that the only release is to actually go to the public and apologize. And apparently this is our company's thing now. So who knows what's next?
Which is like really logical
and more
and
toxic than Twitter.
Yes.
It's super logical and smart in an industry where we're making probabilistic bets, and there's a wide range of outcomes, and we know that everything's kind of chaotic anyway.
You're trying to win week 17 tournaments?
Right. Let's just every week pretend that everything's been answered, and we all should have known something that we knew beforehand we weren't going to be able to know.
Yeah. We're all so terrified of being identified as Vegas Dave that we just want to capitulate as quickly as possible.
I got tagged in a Vegas Dave tweet the other day, and his he keeps running the same scam, but just adds like a 0 to it every single time. He's like, this is like the minus 16,000 lock of the century or whatever. And it's just like every time the same screenshot and the numbers just keep getting bigger and bigger. Incredible.
That's the only way. You just got a martingale, the locks of the century.
I need to see if I could find this. It is honestly incredible that there's still people out there who are giving him money.
I'll grab a beer.
Dink, do you still how big of a Bears fan are you? Will you watch the game after we watch it in full? Like, how much tape are you grinding here?
No, 0. The only reason I didn't DM you earlier that I was in the backstage waiting room is because Gretch was talking so much ball that I was so intimidated when he was talking about where you miss on the throw, and I was like, Jesus, I'm out of my element coming onto this show. So no, there's 0 tape watching. I would say I maybe watched 2 full Bears games, like start to finish during the course of the year, and they're the primetime games. And it's more for me, it's like, at least now, Ryan Poles, the GM, seems to have a little bit of a more reasonable process that I can get behind. Obviously, the Claypool trade was an utter disaster, but the way they handled the number 1 pick this year, I thought was fine. And then they've got all this equity in the draft next year with Carolina's number 1 and their number 1, that it's exciting to like dream about Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr. or something like that. But until they show demonstrate some level of competence and stop hiring defensive-minded coaches, it's really hard to get invested in a team that hasn't been able to run out a competent quarterback in my lifetime.
Yeah. I can't. Of all the franchises too, at least if you were kind of tethered, Leone tethered to the Bills, it's like they're now fun, and being emotionally invested is actually, a fun exercise. But with the Bears, that just sounds miserable.
I also never lived in Chicago, so it's not like I have a lot of friends who are Chicago fans that I would engage with. So, I grew up in South Florida. My dad was a Chicago sports fan, and that's why I was raised that way. And so there's not like a community aspect to it for me either. So it's a loose string for sure.
Well, hey, we're all about getting guests with tenuous connections to the team that's playing on Thursday. We had Liam on last week because he called the Lions a dynasty on a podcast once this offseason. So that's the bar you have to clear to come.
He also called the Bears a dynasty.
He did.
He did.
Yeah. By week 8, we're just gonna have people on that have seen a team play before at some point.
From a truck stop, it doesn't really matter. I did find this Vegas Dave screenshot that he sent out here. First off, congrats on the plus 65,000 units last night. Plus 65,000 units. Great day.
Where do you get all the units? Where do you even find all the units?
Yeah,
is your unit size a penny?
1K pays 65,000, 500 pays 42,000 on just 2 of the MLB playoff Super GOAT parlays today. Congrats on the plus 65,000 units. I would argue your unit size is probably too small if you're able to win 65,000 units.
Yeah, that's probably true. If you're winning 65,000 units, your units are way too small.
What the hell? To send in your discounted grandfather clause payment this morning. Once the game starts, payment is missed. The discounted grandfather clause voids out, and it's $6K daily for the ultimate Super GOAT bundle.
Maybe all the subscribers were limited on like DK and MGM, and now all they can do is get down 65,000 units at a time.
Speaking of thousands and thousands of units and Drew's modesty of saying he doesn't know ball, how was it to have a week like you did very recently where you got more than 65,000 units into your accounts?
Well, what's your unit size? Was that 65?
$. Well, I just meant, dollars.
Anytime you can, win, what 1/7 the amount of Pack Rain wins in a single night, it's a good night. So it's a good day in the streets.
Davis was out here chasing much less than 1/7.
Yeah. Davis would have taken a podium finish in the Poodle, just to get
No, it's great. I mean, the wonderful thing about NFL DFS and NFL best ball and whatnot is like if you get one weekend in DFS, 1 year in best ball, right, or one team, it can just it's life-changing money. So it's different in other sports. So it feels incredible. It's a tough sweat when your team is out of PMR at the end of the 1 o'clock games, because you just know that it's like, how much am I going to lose from here? Essentially lose when, you haven't really won anything, but how much are you going to watch the contest winnings drop? But it's great. And it's one of those things that frees you up a little bit to, I don't know, you win something like that and you tend to play a little bit looser in a good way. Like you're a little bit more confident in playing contrarian and different things like that, even though the team I won with was fairly chalky. But it's nice to get ahead of the sticks early in the season. Like you have a tough 6 weeks to start the season, and the NFL numbers in terms of what I'm outlaying capital are much larger than other sports. You can start to feel it. So it's nice to play from ahead.
I feel like you must have had a really tight core that day, because I saw you atop the leaderboards in a bunch of different contests. Were you running like very similar core across everything?
So that was one of my main lineups. So that same lineup was in like everything. So
okay, gotcha.
So it was just that lineup. I hand build 5 lineups each week, and then generally in MME it's not super tight. The Sims have actually gotten me a lot tighter in terms of what I'm playing. Which is tricky. I need to still kind of figure. I'm still tinkering with my process on the sim stuff because it's all new to me as well. But yeah, it was just one lineup that I had in everything. So that's like the dream is one of your hand builds that you have in everything is near the nuts.
That's what I've experienced with the Sims. It was like week 2, the lineup I hand built, the Sims loved, and it was like the best feeling in the world. And then like last week, it just hated everything I built.
Dude, hated everything I built last week. And I had like 2 lineups that if I just mashed them up together would have been amazing, but I didn't. I split them up and then married them with other dumb pieces.
Yeah, I felt similarly last week where I was like, some of the stuff that I like from a GPP perspective that's off the board is like not going to project well. So I know the Sims aren't going to like it. I'm trying to figure out what to do with it. And some of it I was right on in terms of like HN. Some of it I was like really wrong on. And it's the nature of stuff. The Sims still did pretty well last week with like Kieran Williams and Nakua. It wanted to just jam in everything. And that ended up being the nut combination.
It's going to be fascinating to see this week from a projection standpoint how the Rams are handled with Cooper Kupp full practice today. I mean, I feel like that's such a hard projection to do for Puka and Cooper Kupp this week.
Yeah, I don't envy our projection team on that front. You don't get situations like that in the NBA very often. Like it's like I mean, Puka would be comparable to maybe the Jeremy Lin run, something like that. But like, it's very unusual to see somebody that coming into the season, you would have projected for maybe like 8% of targets or something like that, getting 30% for, the first month.
Well,
so
and I think it's
being really efficient too.
Yeah.
Because your route run's awesome. Yeah.
It's very specifically the stuff that Kupp was doing before he missed this time. It's like he's obviously getting, I mean, I don't know if it's the exact role or what have you, but he's obviously getting a lot of targets that you would expect Kupp to come back and get some of that. And so, I mean, I think they're going to eventually learn to coexist and both be good. But I do, like I wrote this week, I think it's possible that as they ramp Kupp up, they only play Kupp partial snaps and it comes at Nakua's expense. Like they kind of tag team the role, but then by the time Kupp's up to 100%, they'll have Nakua basically playing a different role. But as a rookie, he might not be practicing the other receiver roles, right? Like they kind of have different roles in the offense. I don't think that's likely. I think that's a lower likelihood thing. I think they'll probably be out there together a lot, but that it's possible that they're sort of like not out there together on a lot of snaps because they're kind of both playing the same role. That would be weird, but I'm just throwing it out.
What about, like, I'm actually a little bit worried about Tutu snaps too, because not that anyone cares about Tutu that much, but like Van Jefferson, I think, is going to play too much. Like they're not going to just take Van Jefferson off the field entirely. Like I know he sucks, but he runs.
He's been on the field. I didn't even realize
he's been on the field nonstop.
That's impressive because my best ball portfolio has plenty of Van Jefferson, and I look at the box score each week, and it doesn't look like he's been on the field.
It's NFC MVS, like the exact same situation.
He's out there, man. But
Get a first
he's
down,
going to stay out there. It's going to be tilting.
There we go. Passing first down on the last play of the half. Time out.
That could be big for us.
I kind of wonder. I don't know what you guys think about this. I kind of wonder if one of the guys that's actually hurt more from this. So Atwell or Jefferson, I was thinking would be kind of treated the same because they stretch the defense and they bring an element that is going to kind of force things. I actually think Higbee. I wonder if he could really be severely impacted where they just decide to add more kind of max protection type situations and leave Higbee in because they don't need that area of the field congested with what Higbee does compared to what Nakua and Kupp do. So that was kind of one of my first thoughts of like, I wonder if he's going to take a little bit of a backseat more than people are expecting because people are going to be focused on the wide receiver stuff.
He had 9 targets last week too. Like that's going to come
coming off. I mean, they just paid him a ton of money, so maybe they were trying to make sure he got used. But coming off of he was questionable on the injury report too, so it was pretty surprising.
But we're sweating Sam Howell first downs tonight.
So
I that drive, right?
Yeah,
I saw the first downs that you guys were sweating, and I was like, that's a bet that you can make out there. So shout out to Underdog.
Yeah, you got to know ball to play it. Unfortunately,
you got no ball. There's a little quiz before you can put the pick 'em in that you know ball. It's like the robot thing.
I think Van Jefferson probably goes off the field long term, right? Like it's got to be a Puka, Cooper Kupp, Tutu Atwell, 3 wide receiver set.
That's what we would think, but what we would think is often wrong. So I'm kind of like, what's really going to happen? Because what's really going to happen is probably Van plays like 45 to 55% of snaps, and we're like, get him off the field. This is ruining stuff.
Right?
Like that seems like that just like feels in my heart what I know is going to happen.
He's been in the like, what would you call it, Robert Woods role, right? I mean, is that right?
I wouldn't say that.
Hey guys, let's do these pick 'em here before Dink. Definitely stay with us as we there's some really interesting one on the Bears. Like DJ Moore
higher.
10 yards.
Yes.
Yeah. Done.
10 yards.
Let's do the Sam Laporta thing again. I'm all in.
Sam Laporta.
Cole
you can do passing yards.
Needs 5.5 yards.
Sure.
What did you want, Pat? You wanted the Sam Howell pass yards is big. He's at 71.
No, yeah. I wanted attempts, but that's big. Let's do do they have anything rushing?
B-Rob rushing yards.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, they're down 27-3.
Yeah, I don't know how much he's going to be on the field.
Okay. What about Khalil Herbert rushing?
You like the under on B-Rob rushing yards?
I do.
Dink. Yeah, I kind of like that too.
You know ball.
Yeah.
All right, they just
anytime you take an under, you know ball. That's how it works.
Which one were we looking at here?
Khalil Herbert rushing.
Man, he needs a lot.
That's a lot.
Over 50.
That's a lot.
Yeah, they definitely lean into the game script stuff here. But I mean, I think on Washington's side, some of the receiving stuff, they're going to have to throw a lot in the second half. You mentioned Howell's numbers high.
What about Terrell?
If you're doing the DJ Moore over, you should do Fields over. I mean, he only needs 50 yards or something like that passing to get over that. If you're getting 10 from DJ Moore already.
I don't think you can.
And it just came down.
Those?
Oh, can you not correlate?
I think some of the passing and receiving stuff that it's the same stat. It's hard
you can
to do.
We can do that one if we want.
You can't do like completions and receptions together, but maybe you can.
No. But I'm saying we could do Fields and DJ Moore if we want to do that. What do you guys think about the Antonio Gibson receiving yards? 12 yards.
I like the Gibson receiving yards.
Yes, Gibson's a great one. Yeah.
It's a nice,
especially if you're doing Robinson.
Yeah.
Anything
AJ
else
Terrell tackles is what I wanted to say. What it was.
AJ Terrell.
What?
He's a 2, and he's only 3.5, guys. He's only 3.5.
Terrell Smith.
Oh, that's Terrell Smith. Who do we draft on? I don't even remember.
Quarterback.
Who's the guy we picked? I don't even know what. Well, I put in
it was TJ Edwards.
The chat's screaming about Cole Kmet. They want Cole Kmet. If we are going to do Fields throwing,
do it.
Let's do it. Okay.
I'm feeling frisky. Let's do 100 here.
We're saying the Bears are going to come out throwing up 27-3. They're going to just try to run this game. I mean, they got a lot from behind last week. It's not out of the question.
Yeah, I actually think they're throwing the ball so effectively and Fields is in rhythm. I don't think they're going to completely take their foot off.
I agree.
Gas.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of benefit to there's a lot of benefit to keeping him feeling confident and not letting the game get close enough.
Let's do a lower on Howell. That's such a big number of passing yards there.
All right, I'll bet against Howell. He's about to ruin our first downs.
I do really like that Komet one. What were the three if we do just like a smaller one? What was the other favorite one you guys liked? Gibson.
Antonio Gibson's receiving. Yeah.
Let's do that one. Let's do a tighter one here.
I love that this is the
Gibson receiving
over. Yeah.
And the Howell one. Yeah. But it kind of makes sense.
It actually kind of does. Yeah.
Which by the way, that type of stuff is often not priced correctly on books in terms of like, this is obviously they're all priced the same in terms of the standard payouts here, the 3 times, the 6 times, so on. But oftentimes that stuff is not priced correctly on books, and you can get like outsized numbers on stuff when you do stuff like that, when you do things that look like they should be negatively correlated. But as you guys alluded to, if Hal is checking down a lot to Antonio Gibson, it's probably a harder path to getting a bunch of yards. The algorithms will often treat those things as a negatively correlated thing when they're a little bit more neutrally correlated.
So how are you saying? But the numbers are static for each individual one.
It doesn't apply to this.
Yeah,
it doesn't apply to this. I'm saying on like a FanDuel or DraftKings Caesars, like sometimes the single game parlay stuff the algorithm will kind of freak out and give you like a really nice number on that stuff. Yeah.
That would be cool. So if there's more dynamic pricing to how these fit together.
Yeah.
Because that really is the way that you ultimately beat these long-term, right? Is you're leaning into the correlation of how those interact.
Yeah. And it's stuff that we're working a lot on behind the scenes with the data science team that we have, is like trying to price correlation a little bit better so we can make, perhaps more educated guesses at single game parlays and different things like that. Then, and it also goes into all the sim work and everything, like pricing out the correlation correctly. But there's definitely like there's like I'll give an example from last year. The Cleveland had a weather game at the end of the year last year. I think it was against the Saints. And you could like parlay the over rush attempts for like Taysom Hill with the over rush attempts for like Nick Chubb. And the algorithm is just like, why would these two things go together? And it's not factoring in that the correlation is the weather, that they're not going to be able to throw the ball. Other teams not going to be able to throw the ball very much. And so you would get, instead of like, it might be priced normally where the two might be priced at like plus 250 or something like that, you'd get like plus 320 on something like that, just because the algorithm is thinking it's like a negative correlation.
And they just have hard and fast rules behind of how to handle a running back, wide receiver, basic correlation kind of thing.
Yeah.
Is that the game that was like crazy run heavy? That hit, that was the hit, right?
We did well with that stuff last year.
Yeah.
In that specific game. You'll get a game or two like that this year.
The Saints only threw 15 passes in the whole game. They ran 39 times. And the Browns ran 34 and only threw 31. Both.
And I think
that game this week because the Colts had a lower pass rate expected on first down than both of those teams did in that game.
Oh my god. The Colts last week, we took an A-Rich over on attempts last week, and the PROE chart on like the Colts this year, it's like positive 6%, positive 3%, positive 8%, negative 21%, and we're like, of course, at the time we bet like the 28.5 attempts, and he comes like 3 attempts shy or something like that, and we're like, God,
minus 40% on first down.
Yeah, insane.
It's ridiculous.
So set cards in chat commented like it's plus 340 for that parlay on DK. I don't think 340 would be the normal price on just a 2. I'm guessing both things are priced at like minus 120 on DK.
Yeah. That's really interesting.
Yep.
How much are you doing like props and stuff on Sundays? Are you, because I know in the NBA streets you guys do a ton, right?
Yeah, I mean, we do, but I can't bet anything. So, like realistically, we are moving lines so quickly that if I was trying to bet anything, even if I like timed out, like I'm gonna, count to 10 before I bet or whatever, it's either gone or I'm a flagged account that's gonna get it gone for everybody else. So, I can't necessarily. What I'll do is I'll bet some of the stuff that our team didn't approve of because we have like a committee process essentially, but that I liked. I'll bet some of that stuff, and then I'll bet some I'll do some single game parlay stuff that I think is like correlations that are mispriced. But in terms of how much I'm doing, I would say I on average might have like $300 to $500 out in bets a week. Not a ton in terms of.
Do you ever bet sides and?
Oh, dude, I donk off stuff all the time. Yeah, I mean, the number of times where live betting, I think I have a read on something that clearly do not based on my live betting statistics. But yeah, it's fun. And it also doing some of that stuff keeps longevity for an account as well. So I was
going to say there's actually bonuses to that. Yeah. All right. We will see here. This will, we're going to need some Sam for our core entry. We need here, I'll pull this up. This is to unlock the $400 giveaway. We need 6 first downs from Sam Howell. And then we need
all the yards.
You're not in bad shape there.
I think I would say it's in our favor.
I would say you're in decent shape. I mean, Washington's getting the ball to start the second half as well. The Dotson side seems like the most challenging side of that to get, but I don't think you're in bad shape at all.
Yeah. I think we can get
Drew, you mentioned a little bit ago, Dotson has 9 receiving yards, by the way. I don't know why that's not listing. I remember.
Oh, yeah. Did I not refresh? Yeah, you're right.
So he does have 9. He's not
Okay.
entirely missing on it. We were talking a little bit earlier. You made a comment when we were talking about the Bears about thought they handled the trading of the number 1 pick well. When you think through the future of the Bears, because I mean, I know you obviously understand team building and a lot of that stuff and like taking risk intentionally in that. What do you think is like a good path for them right now? Do you think it can be Fields? Do you think it's learn Fields, draft, learn what Fields is this year, draft a QB next year if it's not him, because they do have 2 probably top 10 picks. Maybe we'll see how that works out.
Yeah. I think it was so. A lot of my friends asked me, would you prefer that they trade Fields or trade the number 1 pick last year? And I was like, it's an impossible question to answer unless you have a really good understanding of how the league values Fields, which I don't think anybody does.
Yeah.
And so, with what they got for the number 1 pick, I feel pretty good about it. I also thought last year's class of quarterbacks was solid, but other than Richardson, I was not, and Stroud's played great. So Stroud's made me look bad on this, but I did not think there's a can't miss. And Richardson was not a can't miss. There was a lot of volatility alongside Richardson. So I thought deferring the quarterback decision to get 1 more year of information on Fields and then have 2 picks that Carolina was likely going to struggle this year with a rookie quarterback with the skill position players that they're running out there. You're likely going to get another crack at it this coming year when I think the quarterback class is I think Caleb Williams is pretty close to a can't miss prospect. Drake May looks decent. And obviously now we have Shutter Sanders as well in the mix, which we'll see if he leaves or not. But I thought that made sense to do that in terms of where they go from here. These last 2 games of Fields notwithstanding, I think these are more of the anomaly than what we've seen so far. His processing time to me looks too slow to be great at the quarterback position. And so if you can convince somebody else that Justin Fields' talent is something that they want to bet on, and you have a high pick next year, I wouldn't mind kind of switching paths and switching directions on things. And I think that's probably the best route. I would love Fields to be the answer. It would be so much easier, but there's a number of, there's a lot of evidence suggesting that he has all the tools, but he's not seeing the field as quickly as he needs to be great.
And a lot of it comes down to where those picks land as well, because I think it's a lot easier to move on if they do get the number 1 pick. If they have Caleb Williams,
you almost have to.
Well, let's let the one hesitation here as a Bears fan. I'm terrified because Caleb Williams has said, his representation has said that he might not come out if it's not a team or an organization that he feels good enough about.
I saw
and
that.
This is like the NIL stuff. And I felt like that was a subtweet directly at the Chicago Bears. I was like, I was like, I get it. Like, I don't blame you. Like, this has not been a quarterback friendly.
But Chicago's a big market. I mean,
it is.
That's a good place to land.
The path to being like the savior of the franchise is very, very.
I feel like
clear.
Chicago would be one of my top spots if I was.
But I would imagine that you'd want to see a different, a different coaching staff, a different So who knows what kind of influence there is there, but yeah, obviously Caleb Williams is the best case scenario, the best path forward. If
you were ownership and Caleb Williams had those demands, don't you think you would sit down and you say, "Hey, Caleb, what do you need to do to get this done? You want us to fire this guy? You want us to do it? Okay, done. Well, who else? You want
us to Brian? I don't even know what he does here. You want us to fire him? You're fired, Brian.
I'll meet whatever demands you have."
I think my knowing ball was just nullified. Oh, that was a pass. Okay, thank God. I thought Brian Robinson ripped off like a 20-yard run on the first play.
No.
That's
yeah, and then if you get Caleb or you get a new quarterback, you reset the rookie contract window as well. Like, that was part of the thing that was interesting. I completely agree with you. We didn't know how Fields was valued and what kind of, they obviously could get a lot for the first pick and what kind of trade compensation. It wasn't an apples to apples thing. What kind of compensation they could get for Fields. At the same time, part of it is like, even if Fields hits, now you got to pay him because his rookie contract is
he's kind of wasted his window. Yeah.
Right.
The other thing, to your point about them getting good compensation for trading off the pick, like, I don't know that Anthony Richardson would be good on the Bears. Like, he's been very inaccurate. He's the worst completion percentage ever expected in the entire NFL. It's not close. Like, all the red flags on him were real. Like, I thought they were real at the time. It's just like, yeah, but he's so athletic and Steichen's smart. But like, if you take Steichen smart away from this, I don't know. And then he's just like kind of Fields again.
Yeah, It's been really interesting the last few years how in the cycles how these things go, but like how much coaching really does matter at the NFL level, and then like it's also the limitations will get revealed. I think we're seeing that on Daniel Jones a little bit this year, right? Like the coaching was able to like prop things up last year, and then with an offseason to like really prepare for all the stuff that the Giants were putting out there, not being able to pivot to another dimension because the quarterback limitations is then kind of like, oh, you're stuck here. And so it'll be very interesting to see how things go for Anthony Richardson in year 2, right? When there's more of a playbook out on how Shane Steichen and the Colts are trying to attack. And I don't think he has the same physical limitations. So hopefully, he will continue to just be great. But I think that's something to keep an eye on. Was that enough for the Gibson receiving?
We got 3 first downs already passing this drive. We're definitely hitting the first downs.
Let's see here. Where was
he's at 23?
Howell's gonna go over the passing yards. I think that one's dust.
It's still he needed like 170. It's a big number.
He's gonna be erratic in this half against the Bears defense. Look there he goes deep. They're just gonna come out and throw every snap. Oh, they got it.
But that's great for our first downs. We just need. Our core is looking pretty good now. What do we?
It is.
Does he have 7 or 6? What's he got?
I think he's
7.
8.
Yeah,
it says 7. Yeah. He's got 3. Wasn't he at 5 at half? Oh, he was at 4 at half.
He was at 4. Yeah.
So that's pretty good for us.
It's going to come down to Dotson for sure.
It's going to come down to Dotson.
Yeah. But this, it's nice to see them have a little life coming out of the locker room here and being a little prideful too. This is good.
This is great.
Yeah, that was DPI. Shoved him right out of bounds. So they're going to score a short TD here and make it a 17-point game quick in the second half. Drew gets to start thinking about Caleb Williams as he watches the Bears blow.
This is the tough thing about them. It's a very conflicted. I think this season is pretty dead, so it's a very conflicted feeling of like what do I actually want to see them do at this point?
Oh baby!
That's another
first down for us.
That's a first down.
That's a
That
first
is.
down.
Yes.
I always knew that was a first down and credited it as a first down. I've actually
Logan
known.
Thomas. My God.
That was great. I've actually
I mean,
that
to be honest, not knowing whether that's a first down is knowing ball. Like, that doesn't matter. You just got to score touchdowns.
That was a nice drive by the Commanders there.
That was great.
I'm going to get Sam Sherman in my DMs about Logan Thomas now because early on in the season, I poo-pooed Logan Thomas as a fab target. So
Sam loves every gross player. I had no idea.
The tight ends that Sam is throwing at me consistently because of route percentage, I'm just like, Sam, I can't with Durham Smythe. We've like reacquired Durham Smythe now because I'm just like, fine. Take Durham Smythe. I just don't want to hear about it anymore.
Logan
I got an argument about it too.
Yeah.
It's great. You're like, I'm definitely.
Sam and I definitely argued about Hayden Hurst route participation like within the last 2 weeks. That's a real conversation.
100%. Yes, I'm rushing to capitulate on Logan Thomas. I will be on Twitter as soon as this ends.
The second you get into the Slack, you're going to be bombarded.
Amazing.
Man. Well, Drew, we appreciate you you hanging out with us tonight, talking ball. And I want to make sure we talk about the Wellymaker. Those of you who watch my DFS After Dark with Dink, saw us talking about that. What are you up to right now on donations this year, Dink?
Yeah, I think we're up over 23,000 at this point. We are matching the first 40,000 dollar for dollar in donations. So we've unlocked 10,000 of that 40,000 in match points at this point. We'll be running throughout the calendar year. And every little bit helps. I mean, it's approximately like $40 gives somebody water, drinking water for the rest of their lives. And that's just one person. It really, what you're doing is you're changing generations of lives because the water, it's a sustainable solution with wells that are being built in these areas. So, we've been doing this for 7 years now. I think by the end of my career, we'll have done stuff where we're impacting legit generations of people and changing the patterns and the opportunities for people, giving them opportunities for education, for building businesses, all these things that you kind of take for granted in the US, that clean water is like such an integral part of life and living a healthy life. So appreciate the platform to give me the opportunity to talk about it, but I'm really proud of the work that we do. And we partner with Charity Water, who's just an incredible organization, and they're the ones who do incredible work. I just am able to use a platform and leverage their incredible work. Yeah.
And just to let people know, I donated the immediate week after. I had a really nice DFS week. Dink, obviously heading this all up, had a nice DFS week. I'm just telling you, the karma gods will come for you if you make a Wellymaker donation.
I donated. I haven't won shit.
I will say, I still need to donate, which I will be doing. But
Pat has it for sure.
I donated last year.
Yep. Yeah.
There you go.
There's a lot of good correlation here. So,
there you go.
Consider it.
Well, Drew, we appreciate you. I'll drop the link to the Wellymaker down below. We got it in the chat there. charitywater.org/Drew-Dinkmeyer. Drew, appreciate you as always. Go have fun capitulating on Logan Thomas tonight here.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Take care.
All right. We'll see you. That is Drew Dinkmeyer. Always a great time catching up with him. And this game could get fun. It has been entertaining at the very least. It hasn't been a boring game.
I think
it's gonna get fun too.
One of the best Thursday night football games I can remember. Like not even this year.
It's amazing because it's 27-3 at the half. And in most situations, 27-3 at the half, you're like, man, this has a really slim chance to be interesting. But when it's the Bears, you're like, it's 50-50 to be a game. Like I kind of, I might just want to go bet on Washington on the live money line. It's 27-3. Like, what kind of odds can I get here? Because they'll find a way to lose.
Yeah. This does feel like a game that could be a tale of two halves. Just there was the Bears half,
I
and
think
then there was the Commanders half.
Not aggressive in passing, like Dink said, though. This might be a little different than what they did last week. Washington does look Nope, they come out and they run a sweep to Fields.
Whoa.
Ooh. That was
I will say I feel really good about grabbing that Komet 5 yards in 2 spots there. Like that.
Oh, yeah.
That was some low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
God, famous last word.
I feel good about our core. We just need Dotson, man. Just need Dotson.
Just Dotson.
And he was close on the one play, but yeah, they're gonna throw a lot. Like he's got to come through.
But we need so many yards for Dotson that like the first downs are almost baked into Dotson, so we're covered. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Whew.
DK's taking credit for being one of the 19 people who were screaming Cole Komet in the chat there.
No, but he was screaming the loudest. He
did have the all
was.
caps lock. The all caps.
Yeah, he had the all caps.
Yeah.
I had to shout about Komet like 60 times. So they just did 2 designed Fields runs on the first 2 plays of the second half. That's been a big talking point. Fields' lack of design carries. Interesting. They came out with a lead, and they're saying we're going to do these design runs. It worked.
I love it.
First down. Yeah.
Now, if you're Sam Howell, it's kind of smart.
Yes, with Sam Howell, dude.
I think I might be. It's kind of smart to just like, have a bad first half. Just have a bad first half, like show a little life at the end, and then come roaring back and throw to Dotson for, I don't know, let's say 50 yards and just crush it. And like, that's how you keep this job, because you got to give the people the impression that you like are.
You're saying he's our generation's Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yes, you really
that's
are.
what Ben said as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm literally just covertly making a point, Ben. I'm repackaging Ben's point from
I love it.
The very beginning of this stream.
You're doing a great job. It's perfect. We need to get them the ball back though early in the third. I want to see them make this a game quick.
Here's a DJ catch.
Yeah, he only needed
11.
What? Okay, so there's 5.
137 in the number 48.5. So yeah, we're 1 catch away there.
Dotson has been so bad this year, Riley. I was hoping he'd have a good game tonight. It's not been good.
Yeah,
very bad.
What do you guys do? You think we were just too high on him as a player? Like, what do you attribute Dotson kind of stumbling to?
That's a fascinating one, because he did not have a really great like targets per out run profile. There were some concerns. Ooh, did he catch that? Did he roll his own?
It was one of those second half of the season splits arguments that those are always dangerous. Not that they don't always not have merit, but it's like it is a little bit. You're introducing additional variance, I think, when you.
But he was very efficient as well. But the efficiency was sort of
in the second half, but not overall.
Well, with the TDs, you look at it from like I was going to say from like a fantasy point. Like I know Sean, for example, will look at like fantasy points over expected, and thinks the TD should be included because TDs are valuable. And he did hurt his own ankle. Oh man, that's a bummer. So Roshan's out with concussion, and then Khalil Herbert just like rolled up on himself. Active. It's going to be Justin Field design runs the rest of this game. But yeah, Jahan Dotson
running back active.
Yeah, probably Travis Homer. Right?
Man, Sam's having a good night.
God damn it, dude! I can't. Travis Homer. I can't. I legit cannot. Like, there's so many takes. They're just landmines for me. Like,
Travis Homer is, to quote Tupac, the last motherfucker breathing. He's the last guy out here.
Across 9 different communication apps right now, Sam Sherman is typing.
Oh, it's perfect.
Dude, all right. No one steal this idea because I'm pretty sure it's $1 billion idea. But here, it's a new app called Lapper, and it just lets you blast out victory laps across all forums, across all chats, and with one, you don't gotta go copy and paste. You just take a Lapper, you connect Lapper to all your chats, and you go. Looks like we're seeing Travis Homer tonight,
dude. That's from a sitcom. What sitcom is that from? Woof. They got it in the chat. It's a woof. It's from like Parks and Rec or something. Right. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never heard of Wolf, okay?
Yeah.
I arrived at the same idea. I'm not ripping off Wolf. Don't sue me, Wolf. What's it, what sitcom is that from?
Oh, it's from The Office, I guess. I remember the fax machine turns on. It's like it's everything. Like
I probably watched that episode. That probably did rip off Wolf.
It's
probably was in the subconscious and I ripped it off.
Yeah. Yes, Travis Homer and Kari Blossengame are the only other running backs that are active. Blossengame's the fullback.
I think you
on Dotson though.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Keep going on.
I was going to say, well, he was really efficient, and typically that leads to more volume in year 2. So it's actually like kind of odd. Like, where did we miss? Like, maybe he's just not very good. Maybe the lack of targets and all this stuff isn't all that great. But my thing is, like, it's the longer-term trends that we have seen with the young guys that are efficient and earning more volume. Like, that's the thing that I would point to, like, where did we miss? Like, the volume increases is expected, and it's not coming. And so it's like, go back to the lab on that a little bit.
Yeah, he had 1.39 yards per hour. Now, by the way, I was pretty overweight Dotson. So this is one that hurts me too. But it was just, my thing was like, I don't know how good he is, but he's a first-round pick. He wasn't terrible. He flashed some as a touchdown scorer. He had a good stretch. I think Howell will be fun. I think Jacoby Brissett is good. If Howell doesn't work out, I've got another out at good quarterback play. And I think McLaurin is good, so he's not going to, like, the defense is going to be focused on shutting him down. I wonder if McLaurin being hurt, it's actually hurt him. Like, if maybe McLaurin coming back to full health will help Dotson get there as like a number 2. And he was drafted, mostly in like the 7th round, maybe late 6th, right? Where, like, if he's just like a solid number 2 for this team, like, that's a win at ADP. So I think we can still get there with Dotson. It doesn't seem like he's like going to be a breakout star though.
Yeah. Andrew says Howell doesn't throw outside or beyond 20 yards, so it's brutal for Dotson. He throws to the middle of the field in the flat, so it's good for Logan Thomas. That certainly seems to be the case so far.
Yeah.
As Logan Thomas catches another one.
Right. I'll throw right to the middle of the field to Logan Thomas.
That looks like pretty good analysis.
Yeah.
Yeah, that actually is a good call.
It is time to bring on the waiver queen herself. It's Steph Miller doing the Lord's work out here in the waiver streets, keeping our portfolio intact. Steph, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
We're doing good. I feel like we got some fun sweats here on tap for this second half. How is your evening going?
Pretty good. I tailed a little bit, so I'm sweating with you guys.
Nice. Which one are you? The core one there?
I have the core, and then I took something in the second half. I couldn't find all of them. I'm still getting used to the pick'ems, and then they appeared, so I ended up taking under on Howell. I'm not sure what. Kind of, I figured it was kind of, hedging the first bet a little bit. So, but Dotson seems to be what I'm most worried about, like you guys are.
Yeah.
So Logan Thomas just caught a first down. He heard us talking about how well he's playing and then promptly fumbled it there.
Mm-hmm.
So that was brutal.
Dink's going to have some fodder for his conversation with Sam later.
Yeah.
Well, we picked up Logan Thomas a few places and then benched him. Yeah, I did. For you guys too, a couple places. But
nice.
then we benched him most places though tonight, so don't worry.
Okay. What was
hopefully
it was a light week, I would say, on waivers. What the big decision point was kind of Jaleel McLaughlin was kind of the guy everyone was wrestling for in most leagues.
He was, and there was a big but discrepancy amongst like his price and a lot of people's opinions of his price that I've talked to and where he went as well. So I tried to get your stat casing boys to bid a lot because they have no running backs, but they got scared and that is not turning out so good. They talked themselves out of it. So
throw them under
that one I'm a little scared about.
Yeah.
We're renaming the show Courage Chasing next week.
Yeah. Well, we had to jam in Rashod Johnson, who's no longer playing in this game.
Yeah.
What was your take on the McLaughlin stuff? Because like you said, the bids were all over the map. I know just even across all of our teams, people were pretty split on how to approach him.
Well, I wrote a lot on him actually.
I see that. I gotta pull it up here.
Well, I wrote some stuff on injury also because I have a little bit of a background in kinesiology and sports injuries. In case y'all don't know, a few people here. So, just about ACL tears in general, and sometimes some of the secondary injuries you see. So that always, whenever I see some stuff, it always makes a few things in my mind go off. But I mean, it seemed like he took over most of the early down work to me last game, except that Perrine is the bigger back and was still getting a lot of the short yardage and goal line stuff. And I don't see that going away.
Yeah.
But my main concern is just like, I think he'll be decent if he fills in, if, Javante's out, but I don't see his value that much once he comes back. And I think the Broncos seem like they're going to rush him back or, to where he's probably not going to miss much time.
Yeah.
So I was kind of on the fence, maybe if, I didn't want to spend a ton, but if you really were light at the position, then he could be a good start probably, except for the Broncos offense isn't very good. So,
What was the highest bid you saw on him across our leagues?
Our leagues, it was around maybe in the 5s or 6s, but actually somebody else sent me from one of their leagues where he went like high 7s.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So he went higher other places.
Am I crazy or did I see today that didn't Javonte practice today?
Yeah, he practiced, right?
I was at work, so I have not seen that, but I would
Pretty sure he did.
Yeah.
I think.
I mean, we didn't know this when we made the bids, but
we weren't that enthused about
Jaleel.
We didn't bid that much. Yeah, I mean, most of my bids, I knew we weren't going to get him. The only one, like I said, I tried to push the one team a little bit more just because I thought they really needed a running back.
I think it's the perfect storm. I understand why he was that popular. We're getting at the point in the season where people are looking at their records. You have losing records. You're feeling panicked. Running backs actually getting thinned out. We see him score a touchdown. What was it, week 1 or week 2? He scored a touchdown. Sean Payton likes him. You got Javonte Williams banged up. P. Ryan hasn't shown out. The ambiguity there, I get why people got excited. And I do think the way we approached it was some basically price enforcement bids, just being like, hey, if something slips through the cracks, we'll catch it, but we're not going to be the ones, setting the pole position on these bids.
Exactly. I mean, that was kind of my thought. It was like, if we ended up getting him for, some of those lower prices, then awesome, but I wasn't going to break the bank. But at the same time, like, there's how many more of these situations are going to happen, and we got to spend the money somewhere and make moves. So it's kind of, you're always getting pulled those few different ways. And I hear it from different groups. No, we didn't.
Yeah.
I think the biggest bid I put on him anywhere was one of the teams, I think, bid like 230. They upped it. The most I put in anywhere was about right at 2.
Yeah.
I like the way you said that, Pete. But I think it's interesting to think about, like, if the reason he's going to go big is people are starting to get a little bit desperate, and some of those things, like, that obviously isn't a positive about the way that we're looking at Jaleel McLaughlin to play, right? Like, we're just saying, like, that's the market dynamic. So I'm not thrilled that we have none of him, but he went for a lot more than I expected him to, and so that's the result. But I'm like pretty okay with it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not, I don't think it's going to be the end of the world. Like, this seems like a good one sat out. That was my take beforehand too, for the record. Like, I thought we should kind of be very cautious, and he went for a lot. That's wild.
I guess then how about you juxtapose that, Steph, with Keaton Mitchell? That's another name that was, decently popular this week. Did you write him up? Because I know I got like in the Fantasy Life Discord, I was getting a decent amount of questions about him, where you have like similar ambiguity to a backfield, but maybe an offense that people are more excited about long-term in the Ravens. How did you handle Mitchell?
I've written him up actually for a couple weeks now. So I've been on him for a while. I have him stored on one of my dynasty rosters. He's been on my IR since, the off season. So I've been familiar with him and watched him in the preseason, and I thought he looked pretty good. I mean, he was getting like 6 yards a carry even then before he had a shoulder injury. So he was showing some explosiveness. He has some pass catching chops. So I basically, like you said, he's coming off IR. I wanted to get ahead of him. So I wrote him up also the week before to try to tell people, hey, this is somebody, if you have space, maybe to stash, because there's so much ambiguity on this backfield and we don't know exactly what's going on. They're trotting out, Melvin Gordon and, Justice Hill and Gus Edwards, but none of them have really necessarily been the guy. He kind of has almost a similar skill set, though, to Justice Hill. So I'm kind of curious how that one plays out. But we do have a few shares of him, some places, and we got him for like $1. Where people were paying a lot more money. We got him a couple places the week before, but then I also picked up another share or two this week.
Yeah, I love that.
So
that feels like a situation
that is something
where
we were definitely on.
Like Javonte is going, like he's dealing with the hip injury that he's practicing with, but down the stretch, he's still on track to have a big role.
Oh my Gibson, there it is.
Boom.
Big play.
Gibson with a huge catch. I was hoping that was Dotson on the outside.
I was hoping it was Dotson too, yeah.
Awesome. Steph, anything else notable from the waiver wire, whether specific players or just general trends that you noticed this week?
There was a lot of, it seems like the last couple of weeks, people have just increased bids overall, no matter what the players are. Seems like maybe they wanted to spend some money. I mean, also another one, I saw Michael Wilson was going for, but I mean, I've written him up for the last, little while and picked him up for cheap a couple places and, he's churned. But then I saw him going for, $500, $200 places also. So, it's kind of weird. The one guy that still hasn't picked up, except for our circle, Wandale, still hasn't gone for a ton. We got him everywhere pretty much the week before.
I'm pretty psyched about
on teams we didn't have him on, but still his price never got out of hand. I was kind of surprised in comparison to some of the other receivers. Like I think the most I saw him go for was maybe like in the 50s, but like I said, some of these other guys were going for several hundred. Oh, Singletary went for 500, by the way, Gretch.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
Yeah, in one place, but I did get him for you for like 40 or 50 on a team you needed. But he went like a lot in the couple places he was available, which I was surprised.
Singletary's like a very, very unsexy, but man, the contingent upside is just so obvious right there. If Pierce were to get hurt,
I mean, my best ball bags are praying.
Just to update the audio listeners here on our core, Sam Howell has now surpassed our first down. So nice call on that. Higher than 9 passing touchdowns. That already got there. Now we're really just sweating 20 more receiving yards from Dotson, who just catches a ball, gets us another 9 there. So we are on our way.
Yes,
Steph, what was the overall kind of overview for our portfolio when I was kind of looking through it? A bit of a mixed bag.
I don't know if mixed bag. Last week was not a good week.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, we only had one team win.
Okay, then it wasn't a mixed bag. I was just had all my.
That's about as optimistic as you can paint one team winning. There was a mix.
It looked close enough.
Well, if you scroll down, I have a Scott Fishbowl team that's 11th overall, but that's about my best news.
Your team's 11th overall?
Yes.
And I have DJ Moore on it, so it's going to be higher after tonight, probably.
Nice. Go get it.
Oh, yeah.
I wish there was money. I'm kidding.
Is this the week, Steph? Because what do we have? Would you say we have like 60, 70% Breece Hall across our portfolio?
Oh, probably, easily.
Is this the week that Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, they make our teams great again?
That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been on the Breece train as well. I have a ton of Breece Hall on best ball, a ton on our teams. So
yeah. Well, congratulations.
He's looked good.
Fishbowl team, by the way. That's awesome.
Well, thank you. I mean, it'll be pretty exciting for bragging rights, and stuff.
Yeah.
And that'd be pretty cool to win it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. You gotta do us proud in there. I somehow got Puka Nacua on waivers week 1, and my team is still trash. I don't even know. Actually, I know how that
My team is trash. My team's
I
usually
have
pretty
George Kittle
solid.
and Kyle Pitts. That's how.
Nice. My team sucks too. It's great. So
My
this
first
problem is
running-
no problem.
What's that, Steph?
I was gonna say, I went pretty hardcore 0 RB on it. My first running back was Dobbins, and I'm still that high.
Wow.
I picked up
Wow.
Kieran Williams, I think, like before he was anything major, just on waivers, just because I was taking him at the end there in best ball, like every time. Once there started to be a little bit of smoke there, that he was going to have that role. So I think that was my saving grace.
Nice.
Beautiful. Well, Steph, you're absolutely crushing it here. Nick dropped this in the chat, the article to this week. For you audio listeners, it's Steph's newsletter. It's called Fabulous Football, a couple A's there for the nod to the waiver wire fab. It's a really fun read going through not only our portfolio and teams, but then just a macro view of each waiver wire slate, Steph's recommendation for percentages, in-depth write-ups. Can't recommend it enough. Completely free. And again, we can't say it enough. Steph has been absolutely crushing it for us,
Absolutely
keeping us
killing it.
organized. Seriously, Stephanie, you have added years onto our lives. We appreciate you very much.
It's very true. I honestly can't recommend the newsletter enough. It's really good. Like breaking down the kind of the overview of that particular week of waivers, who you should be picking up on. Clearly, we've been, getting all these guys like a week or two ahead on our teams because Steph's been identifying them early. So if you want to stay ahead of waivers, this is how.
Yep. Well, Steph, anything else people should check out? Nick obviously has your Twitter. You are hanging out in the Deposit Kingdom. Are you chasing everyone to Miami too? You trying to get this qualifier?
I have not done any dog bowls. I've barely gotten into kind of the underdog dailies this year. I've done a little bit of the battle royales. They're fun though, I've been playing a little bit less DFS, so those are kind of, I feel like you don't have to prepare quite as much. It's kind of fun just to hop in the draft and not, obsess over.
It's a snapshot of that particular
and studying. Yeah,
which is nice.
Ownership.
Yeah.
DFS is getting. Sorry.
I was just saying, what did you get last week? 6th or 7th?
I got 6th in the Battle Royale. Yeah. Man. I was tied for 6th, though. It was too chalky. I didn't scroll down enough, man. I did Gabe Davis.
I thought I was going to have a sweat. I had like the nut roll out at the beginning, and then nobody did anything in that last game. Because I had like A-Chain and I had, what was it? Josh Allen and Diggs team, and then I had like Keenan and somebody else that did nothing, like that late game that was supposed to go off, and I was very sad.
It's a big deal. Like, you really have to be, but it's an interesting tournament because like the scrolling down thing, like you need to hit someone that's going to have a huge game, but if you get that huge game and no one else has them, it really does create huge leverage. So there's like a fun little strategy element to it. It's also like not complicated because there's like 6 picks, so it's both like I think a high skill game and also you can fire them off pretty quick. So
and you feel how easy I feel it every single week, and I've played them a ton where you still feel anchored to the ADP. You're like, God, do I really have to scroll down when I could just select Breece Hall as my last pick in the Battle Royale draft? That sometimes is a thing that happens, and you're like, this doesn't feel right, but from a game theory perspective, you got to do it. Steph, well, as always, we appreciate you. Love you swinging by here to catch everyone up to speed on the waiver streets and our teams. Any other final words here?
No, I think that's about everything. Really appreciate all the kind words because I admire all of y'all's writing so much. So thank you so much for giving me a shout out. And
of course.
Yeah,
I'm glad to make your lives a little bit easier.
That's an understatement, an absolute understatement. Well,
Truly.
Steph, we will catch you next week. You'll be here with us every Monday night, every Thursday night, catching us up on the waivers. If you have questions, hit her up in the Deposit Kingdom Discord. She's very active around all of those channels, and we'll see you next week, Steph.
All right. Well, Good luck. Hopefully we hit some of these pick'ems.
Yeah, let's do it. We'll see you next
All
time.
right.
Get that core.
Yeah. Yeah, the core is it's all down to Dotson, guys.
It's down to Dotson.
Yeah, let's check in on some of these here. So the Sam Howell one is looking dicey for the second half one, lower 242 because he's been balling. Komet still hasn't caught a pass. The Justin Fields one, we need a competent drive from them. They're kind of in conservative turtle shell.
Yeah, they're
right
getting
now,
tight. They're definitely getting tight. Which is
Lower
good for our
Brian
Dotson
Robinson's rushing yards there is good.
Yeah.
So all we really need is, and we already got the Gibson receiving. So we need Fields to Komet and more, and that can hit for 2K. That's pretty doable.
Yeah. And then, man, checking in on TJ Edwards here, higher than 9 tackles. He's at 7. Brian Robinson is not going to get there on this one. So
No.
65.5, we could say. Oh, is that DJ?
DJ Moore.
Oh,
DJ Moore.
God. Fields
Good
just got
Lord.
it. What?
Oh,
he
they
stepped
called him
out.
He
out.
stepped out?
Oh,
How far did he get? What did they say? What's the call?
they're saying he stepped out, but I don't know when.
That's still a good chunk, and we still need to get
That's
the
still a
Komet,
really
so.
nice chunk.
Yeah.
Where did he step out?
I don't think he did. I don't think he did step
Yeah.
out. I think it's a bad call. They got to stop blowing the whistle on this stuff, man.
Dude, they need to put fucking Ship in the ball, man, and in his cleats.
Well, just swallow the whistle. Don't just let it play out.
Are they not even
Oh,
going to look at
they
that?
don't even have a good replay angle on it. Who's
All right, so Fields is now 14 passing yards away. So this one is very live, guys. This 5
Wow.
for 2,000 that we built at the halftime.
Hell yeah.
We need, if we get like one 13-yard pass here, 14-yard pass to Cole Komet, we will be cooking.
That's all it needs. All we need is 15 more passing yards, and Komet needs to have 5.5 of it. Oh, wow.
Yes, and then Brian
Yeah,
Robinson.
and then Brian Robinson not to rush for yards.
Holy cow. This is the Bears running back right now. Foreman was inactive. Homer's questionable to return. Rashod ruled out, and Khalil Herbert is back in and then exited right away after re-aggravating it. So I believe that leaves them with fullback Kari Blasingame now.
Wow.
Wait, Homer's out too?
He's questionable.
It's
Oh,
questionable.
my God. That's amazing.
Yeah, those Deontay Foreman best ball backs come roaring back to life.
Honestly, Mike, dude. Don't
Yeah.
think that hadn't crossed my mind.
Yeah. Dude, it's going to be him and Jeff Wilson are going to sneakily be the Undertaker meme at some point this season.
100%.
Yeah, I'm excited about this one. And as a reminder, guys, we're 13 yards away from someone winning $400.
It's pretty great.
Yep. Dr. Evil says, when are they going to put a chip in each blade of grass? I thought that's what AstroTurf was. I just assumed.
No, they don't bother chipping them. They don't chip the grass.
All right. This could be a fun fourth quarter here. Pat, I feel like you were on your way to Zooted Town there, and now you just kind of took your foot off the gas. Did that meal just soak up all the alcohol?
Well, I've had 1.5 beers. I don't know if I would say I was on the way to getting zooted. I did crush the first beer. The first beer went down very quickly. And then, I just kind of like moderated my behavior, I guess. I have to finish narrating the walkthrough. which will probably think I've got another because I edit it as I narrate, so I got a few hours of work left to do tonight.
Yeah. Joey wants to know what beer you're drinking.
This is called Fishful of Gummies by Second Chance. So it's a local San Diego brewery. I'm not sure where in San Diego.
Sounds
but
very
it's pretty
sweet.
good. I was worried that it was going to be super sweet. It is a little sweet, but it's not like overpoweringly sweet.
Okay.
It does taste a little bit like like a gummy, but it's not gross. Because a little too sweet on that taste spectrum would be genuinely gross. They did this pretty well.
I'll pour some more tequila for you guys. I can't do the coffee pour style.
Please.
That would require way too much tequila to actually get the effect. I guess I could give you a little.
Come on.
Just a little tease.
Honestly, that was pretty good. It was very quiet. I really had to listen for it, but it crackled a little. It's a nice one.
Oh my!
Oh
DJ.
my god!
Yeah, we need the Komet TD here. I mean, it doesn't have to be a TD, but this one we built here is pretty hot.
Down. They're gonna kick a field goal.
Go for it. Cowardly field goal.
Dude, I want that core, man. I want the Washington get the ball back and hit that core for us. Then push,
you're right, because the
Bears
core.
To the air.
How about a quick Jahan Dotson TD just makes everything move?
Just get that core right, and then we can have the Bears come back on the other side, and we hit that halftime pick too. But I want to give away some money tonight. I want to give that 400 out.
You guys say my tequila pour sounds like a tinkle.
Well, it was tinkle-esque, but it was a nice tinkle.
Yeah.
I
get so triggered by the word tinkle. When I was like a little kid, one of my mom's friends used to always ask us as kids, be like, does anyone have to go take a tinkle? Like as for going to the bathroom. And whenever I hear the word tinkle, I just cringe. So I'm just letting you guys know, don't ever say tinkle around me again. I knew this was happening. I should have never said it. Some people are like, I hate the word moist. I hate it when you say moist. Like tinkle is that actual word for me. Don't ever tell me I had a nice tinkle.
Oh man.
This is information you should have shared.
Yeah, you shouldn't have shared that with the
I
internet.
just thought I was being vulnerable.
You were. But the internet doesn't handle that well.
I mean, I'm already thinking next year when we're in Vegas, will I wind up in a bathroom with you and have an opportunity to tell you nice tinkle? Because that's what I'm like.
that's the way to play it. Just never say it to Pete until we're in person. And be like, nice tinkle, dude.
And that's why I've been compensating my whole life. And I'm like, dude, I got to go take a fucking heavy piss right now. I don't tinkle,
like
dude.
Resource.
Dude, I fucking put a waterfall of urine in there.
My stream was strong.
When we were talking about units earlier, I was cracking up thinking about Levitan posting that video that Cam Newton put out. Did you see that?
I saw that.
Did you see that, Ben?
God not giving him a hammer.
Yeah, that was hilarious. That was
he said God didn't bless me with no hammer.
Levitan tweeted it out. Yeah, that was great.
That was so good. Yeah, man.
Oh man.
Cam is hilarious, man. What is that show?
That was very funny.
It was very funny.
Oh,
Dotson,
man.
he's got Dotson deep. He's looking the wrong way. That's Dotson's
passing first down. We don't need him anymore. It's weird to rewire your brain. Yeah, we don't need that at all. It's already done.
Yeah, but every first down he gets +9, is a multiplier of how much we know ball.
It's a no
Nice.
ball
Yeah.
affirmation.
Yeah. Because if you just hit it, like, it's good. But
So where do you guys fall? I will say right now, the first down sweat is an awesome sweat. It's very fun. I will
love
say
it.
the tackles one, I never remember to sweat it. I forget to look for it.
I think we're getting close.
I know, but I never.
The tackles one, I would argue is essentially not a sweat. I don't know what's happening. I never care who is making the tackle.
That was him, 53. While we're talking
Was
about
it? There we go. I
thought
wished an extra.
Was that AJ Terrell?
Falcons quarterback. AJ
What's
Terrell.
his actual name? TJ Edwards.
This is TJ Edmonds, and then there was another Terrell
Edmonds.
something.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I don't even know if he made the tackle there, but he was around the play.
No, it's TJ Edwards, and then they also have Tremaine Edmonds.
Oh,
Who
Then
did
they
we
have
take?
Tremaine Edmonds, yeah.
Who's on the pickup?
I completely agree with you guys. We have TJ Edwards on the pick 'em. I completely agree with you guys.
done.
It's impossible.
It's the Robinson one where we need it, so we don't have to sweat that one anymore. Also, what's bad when an account I've never seen is sending me Canadian dollars to say, "Did little Petey have a nice tinkle?" Never seen this guy in my life, and he just came out of the woodwork to send me fucking Canadian dollars and ask me if I had a nice tinkle.
Two Canadian dollars.
Jesus. It's not enough compensation for how scarred I am.
That's amazing.
Okay.
Who's that?
Who's
I will say,
83?
Sam Howell, do I have confidence he's throwing it to the right person? No, but he throws a nice dart, dude.
Dude, that was Jamison Crowder.
Yeah.
Did you know he's on the Commanders? I had no idea.
I did know that. He's been punt returning for him.
Oh, wow.
That's
Congrats
wow.
as well.
I'll be completely on. I mean, hang on. Correct me if I'm wrong. Jamison Crowder was on the Bills this offseason?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
Giants.
No, Giants.
Giants.
Giants, but
he was
then
part of their collection of 5 foot
Yeah,
slot receivers.
all the slot receivers on earth, they brought him on.
Yeah.
Which is weird because they clearly needed outside receivers. So
yeah, no, I mean it was obviously a great strategy. Everything's going great with their offense. I mean, they obviously know ball and knew what they were doing, and it wasn't.
Oh, Sam.
The fantasy community should definitely not question coaches so much on these types of things.
Yeah. Man, really
need
would
this
like some Jahan
Dotson, guys.
Dotson. Yeah, and he's got 30 yards. What do we have it at? 40.
42 and a half. The end around is still very live.
Yeah,
As is a 2-yard loss on the end around.
hey, I tell you what's also live, dude.
We need
A
a
little
ball
Hail Mary
to chat
pitchback?
right now.
If he's part of like a last second, they throw it around play. How do they score that?
What did you say?
Dotson underneath. Hit him, Howell, or send it
Oh, he's
deep.
going deep.
Is that
Oh man,
is that Logan Thomas?
yeah, dude.
Why?
What is Logan Thomas
32?
40 time right now?
Yeah,
It's like a 4.8, just torching the DB down the sideline.
4.8's faster than I was thinking.
Yeah,
That might be generous.
I'm like, how do we got the one time Dotson's inside and Logan Thomas is outside, then he finally throws outside?
He just loves Logan Thomas, dude.
I love that. That was supposed to be an out and up, and he's like, he really cheated on the out. He was just like straight to the up. He was like, I gotta just go.
He's like, I can't do both.
Yeah.
Dotson.
Like,
I
that's
don't have
too
time
much
for
running.
both.
Go, baby.
God.
Go, baby.
That's De'Ami Brown.
That's De'Ami
Is it?
Brown.
Yeah.
Number 1, number 2. I hate this.
I was
game.
like, what?
Pete knows ball so well that he doesn't know numbers. Like he doesn't know which numbers
I saw
mean
a
which
single
number.
digit, and I thought it was Dotson. Sue me.
Yeah, see,
No, I
literally
mean-
just.
Oh, they got a guy running on the field. Did you guys see that guy running on the field?
Oh.
Is that Dotson? That
No, that's Samuel.
Samuel.
You idiot!
Everyone
How
but
did you not know
Dotson.
number 4 was Samuel?
I couldn't see the number.
Couldn't tell number 4 from number 1 because I just saw the base of it.
That's the whole point.
But 2 would one look different at all points of the
No,
character?
no, even all single digits look the same. And if that's racist,
That's a
I'm
wild
sorry.
take. That's a wild take.
No, it's not.
Yes,
You're just
it is.
scanning?
All single digits look the same?
They do.
That's a crazy take.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
Watching the bird's eye all 22 film like me, all single digits look the same.
Get your eyes checked out. If all single digits look the same.
I have 20/20 vision.
You don't. I'm sorry
Hey,
to tell you, man.
I'll Pat, you want me to be logically consistent? All double digits look the same too.
Okay. That is logically consistent.
All
and
double digits
makes
look
me
the
worried
same?
about your eyesight.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys are watching a different view than me, but I'm watching the Hubble telescope.
In a sense, we are, because our eyes work and they're feeding information to our brain.
Brag about your eyes after you thought Dotson was Curtis Samuel.
Okay, they just ran a designed play pretty much on the motion to De'Ami Brown, hit him in the face. It was a little bit behind him, and he just drops the touchdown. Oh,
No,
that was actually way behind him.
It was pretty behind him.
Dude.
Yeah.
He was open.
He was.
Man, we
We
need
shouldn't
a
have thrown it
touchdown
so
here
early.
regardless.
Like, he wasn't even breaking out of
We
his
really
break
did.
yet.
Just to keep this close and keep them throwing and stuff.
There it is.
There we go. There we go. Curtis Samuel, baby.
Big.
We'll take the score.
Yeah, we will. Because we couldn't have gone over the yards on that particular spot. All right, now they're going for 2.
We just need them playing for they're calling their timeouts and they're
For sure.
doing If they give up, we're toast.
There's still 11 minutes left. I don't think the Bears are going to be very effective running the clock down without any running
backs. Like they need
Yeah.
to. Yeah. All right, 2-point try here.
50 points
This is-
scored.
this is
game.
big.
Can't complain about that. Oh my God.
Dude, why step up? Why step
Oh my
up?
God.
That was the most Sam Howell play I've ever seen.
That throw was fantastic.
Holy shit.
Just parachuted up into the air.
Jesus Christ. That
That
really
was
is the ultimate Sam Howell experience.
Why did he
Why do you step?
run?
Look how much room there is if he goes around. He could have run.
I
for it.
know. Yeah. What the
Remember,
hell?
was it rookie or second year Josh Allen? And was it a wild card game? I want to say against the Colts or something when he had that. He was getting sacked or he ran and then tried to lateral it behind him.
It was against, I think, the Texans. Rookie year wild card, and he was 25 yards upfield. He had got a long run, and then he just I'm gonna throw a lateral.
That was back.
That's when we all thought he
everyone
sucked
was
still.
out on Josh Allen. Yeah,
Yeah, we were
No
like,
one
oh,
was.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
man. It is actually crazy to think how wrong the consensus was on Josh Allen. Not even as a prospect, but just an NFL player.
yeah.
It would be it'd be tough to think who today would have to be awesome 2 years from now. It's almost like Pickett. You know what I mean? It's kind of it's people have turned on, maybe not quite that much, but it's people have turned on, it's not fully
People
to
have
the
already
Ritter
turned
level.
on Bryce Young.
Fields?
It's been 3 or 4 games.
Fields turned around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fields is it. Yeah. Yeah. Fields turned around. That would be. Man.
Josh, that's a bridge too far. Josh says Trey Lance.
No one's seen
Now, that
Trey
would
Lance
be the
play
most-
football.
It is true.
He's never actually played.
Here's the thing, though. The people who have seen him play football won't let us see him play football.
They don't think he's good enough to let us see.
That's not usually a good sign.
I'm done defending Trey Lance too. I'm over it. There's just not a lot of good quarterbacks. I want every young quarterback to be good, but there's not a lot of people that can play quarterback well at the NFL.
No, there's not. There's very few people.
It's not.
Yeah.
Most of them, you're going to be better off saying they all suck.
That's true. unless they are as athletic as Derrick Henry, then we bet on him, baby.
Although I think, Pat, I completely agree with your earlier statement that Richardson would not be. He would be. I think he would look a lot worse on the Bears.
He would look
a lot.
All the criticisms of Richardson are correct. He's not a good thrower. He isn't. He may never be, but like, for me, I was like, what Richardson turns into in 2026 is none of my concern. Like, right. Is he going to play right away? Are they going to scheme rushes for him? Is he going to pass well enough to get the defense to respect the run? Which he's a good deep thrower, actually. He's not a great deep thrower, but he's good enough. So that was my whole, and Steichen's smart. But yeah, dude, if he was on the Bears, like they wouldn't, you need a team to design a very specific offense. And that's, if they don't do that, he would be screwed because he's a super limited player.
Right. But that's the one thing I was going to like. So it's kind of crazy that for as many bad quarterbacks as there are, it's hard to play quarterback. Like there is an element of being in the right situation. Like we've talked about with Fields, has not actually ever really played in a great situation under a good coach with a lot of good talent around him. Came in and he had the worst offensive line in the league the first year, etc. That doesn't help when you're a bad processor. We are seeing Richardson be elevated by a good coach. We are seeing Mike McDaniel probably, I think, influence Tua. I think Tua has talent and has certain skills, and Mike McDaniel is accentuating them and making him into the best version of himself that he could be. And so
Tua's limited too. Tua's not like, he's accurate, but he's like, he doesn't have a great deep ball. He's a quick processor, but he's not mobile, right? Like strengths and weaknesses.
What would Trey Lance?
Anthony Richardson's limited, but like he's a rookie quarterback, dude. He's definitely, maybe he won't be limited in the future, but he is limited. That's okay. Knowing he's limited is why he's having a good season. Because Steichen's smart. He's smart enough to build around him.
Is the chat surprised by this take? Is this so? Here's where I wanted to go with this. Is like
Richardson's like one of my most drafted players. Like I have like 26% Richardson. Like this is not me like taking a piss on Richardson. Richardson was an awesome pick and is doing great. Like we all feel great about drafting Anthony Richardson, but he is a limited quarterback right now. Like that's just a fact. And it doesn't have to be a reason for him not to score points.
I thought this is why you drafted Anthony Richardson, for exactly what's playing out. Wasn't going to be a good passer, but was going to be an athletic beast who is rushing for yards and getting used at the goal line. Wasn't that why you drafted him?
Yeah, that's why you drafted him. And like, that's like he's the passing stuff was overblown in the sense that people were acting like he literally couldn't pass, and the defense was like going to be able to stop him on every drive, or he was going to like lose playing time. Or I was like, no, he's good enough. He can throw deep, right? He can make some big plays. He can execute a very specific type of offense. But to say like he can execute a specific type of offense is not saying that he's not limited. I think that made sense. He's still limited, even if he can execute a specific type of offense built to his strengths, which is fine. Like that's not a knock.
Okay, so this is where I was going to go with this, and so this is a really good spot. Because I was trying to argue, okay, there's not a lot of really good quarterbacks, but there are some coaches that can get the most out of certain quarterbacks, especially when they kind of fit their scheme a little bit, which is a little weird because I think traditionally I felt like coaches and scheme is overplayed and the players are going to dictate whether they're successful or not. But there obviously is a marriage there. You just said Richardson is limited, but he's good enough to run a system. Because what my question was going to be is, what if Trey Lance would have been playing for Shane Steichen? What do you think happens there? What if Justin Fields was playing for Shane Steichen in this offense? What do you think happens there?
I think first of all, I think he would have been playing. Like I think Kyle Shanahan, was probably the worst person to. I don't know why he wanted Trey Lance. Like their whole scheme like makes it easy mode for the quarterback. It's like point and shoot, right? Like that's the criticism of the Purdy's and the Garoppolos and Tua. It's like point and shoot. You're not processing. You're not reading out plays. You're just like literally executing. Like someone had this point, and I'm now gonna not remember who, but they were saying like it was basically it's just the running game for the passing game. Because it's like you're just like maybe it was It might have been Rebar or Hilo was one of the pods I was listening to last week. But they're saying like those systems are basically like they're scheming out passing plays, which are also designed to get yards after the catch as well. So it's like
it's the extension of the running game point, is what you're saying.
It's the extension of the running game point where like you have plays. There's like, here's what you do when you are essentially like a point guard and you hit this pass. Then this other series of events kicks off after you complete your part of it. Yeah. It's not you sitting back, reading the plays, making a difficult throw, relying on arm talent, putting all this weight on the quarterback's shoulders. So the criticism of the Shanahan system is essentially you don't even have to be that good at like the mental part of the game or have that good of an arm. You just need to be able to do this specific like scheme stuff, like system quarterback type of stuff, right?
Shanahan
Why
is
get Trey Lance for that?
Right. Shanahan is to Lance as Arthur Smith is to Pitts.
Yes.
But would Lance have fit? Would he have succeeded with a Steichen? Or is Richardson better at running an offense, right? Like that's I mean,
I think Richardson's already, I think Richardson's got to be better than Lance is. Like already. Like to do this, like Lance, and like let's be honest, like Lance.
But I also still think Steichen probably elevates a Lance, probably elevates a Fields if he was coaching a Fields.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this isn't like a Shanahan system. Like they're using the athleticism of the quarterback in like the Eagles do. I think it's a much sharper system for a mobile quarterback. Like in a way that I think Shanahan maybe like he kind of sat down and was like, I'm gonna have to go down this other rabbit hole. And I don't know what's down that rabbit hole, but I know what's down this one. Like I've built a home down kind of the classic Shanahan style rabbit hole. Like he knows how to scheme that type of offense. And Brock Purdy came along and it's like, oh my God, I can just do this thing I want to do and it's going to work really well. Or I can like scrap everything I've built and try to like build an offense around what Trey Lance does. So I totally get why he didn't go with like, I didn't think he would get like once Purdy came along, I thought he would just go with Purdy, but I really don't understand why he ever got infatuated with Trey Lance. He just doesn't do any of the things that the Shanahan system asks you to do, I think.
Yeah. I thought he was going to try to add like a new dimension to the Shanahan system. I was like, oh, this is going to be a whole new thing. But, single digit. Come on, they all look the same.
Digit tease. Yeah, Gretch, you're coming along on this take. You just got emotionally invested.
2-1 now.
You'll take.
Notice I was quiet. I knew that was Samuel.
No, everyone. This was a bad take shaming me for this single digit thing because everyone is falling for it because they all look the fucking same. Go take a
8 does not look like 1. 8 and 1 do not look similar, dude.
I'm not worried about an 8. I'm worried about a 1 and a 4 and a 2.
I lost it when you said all single digits look the same.
That's crazy talk. I stand by that take.
Oh, God.
That is a very funny take.
It's really funny.
I stand by it.
All of the numbers.
Yeah, I saw it. So JJ had a tweet earlier. Before this drive, Dotson and McLaurin had combined for an 18% target share.
Nice. That's awesome. Loving that. The running backs have gotten a bunch.
At least we know this offense's condensed takes have not aged well this season. You know, the Falcons, the Commanders. I feel like there's another one that didn't really work.
Look at this, the underneath guy, wide open.
Yeah, he's wide open, running across the field. What do you? Is that Dotson? It's got to be Samuel, right? 3. Is Dotson even on the field?
Crowder. I don't think so, man.
What the fuck is he?
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah, Logan.
Logan Thomas, the guy who's trying to get a few first downs right there.
Guys, I don't think Dotson's even
I don't think Dotson's out there. Yeah. Are we?
Yeah. We're seeing a lot of Crowder. We're seeing a lot of De'Ami Brown. Is he hurt?
I'm looking. Why are Dotson and Yeah, the people are noticing neither one of them's out there.
Crowder is so dusty. He's still wearing a double-digit number that starts with an 8.
There's a clip of me at one point this offseason saying Logan Thomas could catch 100 balls in this offense, and then I was like, that was the dumbest thing I've ever said. And now I want to go find it and circulate it and act like
act like you never came off it.
Yeah.
That's
He's got 9 catches tonight.
Oh my god! Just send it out with the eyes emoji. Oh my god! Where's Dotson?
It's on a milk carton, bro.
Would take me a minute, but I'm just the right amount of like tired and sick. That was perfect. I needed that.
Gretch, I gotta say, like, starting these streams at 5, it feels early. It feels early. Like now that it's almost 8 o'clock Pacific time, I'm like, okay, this feels like a normal
Fuck
time.
you! It feels late.
What do you mean? Now it feels late?
Well,
Yeah,
he's in the
it's
East
11
Coast, so.
p.m.
No, that's when I'm used to streaming ship chasing.
We can both be correct here. 5 p.m. is too early, and 11 p.m. is too late.
Well, I guess that's the problem with 3-hour streams.
There'll be no problem if we can get a Justin Fields to a Cole Kmet 15-yard pass.
So we would have done, let's see. We would have done 16 streams by. So we're doing 15 of these shows because there's only 15 Thursday night football games that aren't Thanksgiving, and they're not week 1, which we didn't do. And we're doing about 3.5 hours per stream, so that's 52.5 hours. Now we would have done, I think, 16 streams for the waiver wire show, and Pete would have kept us at a tight 30. So that's.
I mean, all jokes aside, they would have been like a tight 55.
Okay.
We would have started
So
at 9:15. Waivers would have processed, and about 10 minutes later, I would have been like, and that's the show.
That's 0.92 of an hour times 16. So that's 15 hours of ship chasing this NFL season versus 53 hours.
Yeah. So anyone who was fucking complaining about the show moving, just enjoy.
Yeah, that's why I made it. Too much ship chasing.
Grouchy, tired Pete.
It's 3.5 times more content. 3.5 times more content.
Have we already gone over the amount of in-season hours we would have streamed? But
that's a great point, dude.
Also, let me set the record straight. We are definitely doing a Thanksgiving Wednesday night stream.
Wednesday,
which is the annual tradition.
Yeah, that's a no.
Oh, that's true. But that we would have done anyway. So that's is
that Dotson?
No, it's McLaurin.
Draws the PI
flag. What do we have for? What do we need? That's going to about the 14-yard line.
13 yards.
Yeah, let me pull it up.
So if he caught a TD from the 14 here, it would get us there?
Yeah, it'd be good.
Yeah, we need 13 yards on Dotson, 14 yards from Fields, and 6 yards from Kmet.
They might wave this off. That doesn't look that bad. Oh, no. I think they got to leave that.
Don't tell me this.
They're like telling him to pick it up, huh?
Dotson was wide open. Al doesn't even know he's on the field.
At least he's out there, dude. Honestly, that's something. What are they doing here? No.
I think they're calling no
foul.
No penalty.
Damn it.
No penalty. Wow.
Donnie, Prime Vision. We can let you guys feel like geniuses when you tell us that they weren't on the field.
I think that's PI. I think they got tricked a little by him holding his hands and all this. You got to let him get through. Stevenson's not playing the ball, and he literally prevents McLaurin from getting back to the ball. He would have got back to it if the guy wasn't there. I think that's actually a bad non-penalty. That was he doesn't have like a right to run there. He can play the ball, but he can't block the receiver from getting to the ball just because he's not putting his hands on it. You can't do that.
Yeah, that should have been a penalty, I think.
Oh, man. Look at this single-digit cluster at the bottom of the screen.
Oh, that's not him, though.
McLaurin. No, yeah. Good play,
What
though.
about the 2 digits made you think it might have been Dotson, Pat?
That one of them was a 1, Pete.
I guess you're coming around on, you know where this take is headed? All numbers look the same. All numbers, because you
it
just
already
got
started
pulled.
there. Weren't you already saying all numbers look the same?
All numbers look the same.
I saw the 1.
Okay, Dotson's got a big black band. Okay, he's bottom screen right now.
That's what I like, Gretch.
Oh, he's going for. Oh, there it is.
He's looking. God damn it, Howell.
What a sick catch. He fucking caught that just by the point of the ball.
One-handed just to troll us.
10 feet out of bounds. Put it on him.
What an absolutely.
When Underdog going to give us unrealized air yards?
What's happening now? We got an injury or something? Bears call timeout? Maybe. Oh, that guy just got hurt. Man, he was open.
He was, dude.
Howell.
Maybe that's Dotson for not coming back to it or something. I don't get it.
I need to see the replay.
How have they not shown that catch? I don't care if it was out of bounds. Like, show the fucking play again. That was incredible.
Yeah, why haven't we seen a replay of this?
I don't know.
I'm watching Prime Vision. That's a miss. A miss on Howell, I assume. It looked like it.
Jeez, Howell.
God
don't
damn it.
catch that, you dipshit. What are you doing? What was the point of catching that?
Dude.
Why did you just lose your team 5 yards so you could have your bad one-handed catch?
Harditz is going to put that on a. Both of these were worth 1 point, whatever points. Or I guess it'll be 0.7.
There's maybe nothing that tilts me more than the way that people present the PPR scoring stuff. Like, is the person who scores the TD the one who deserves the TD every time? No. Like, half the fucking time it's the fullback like running it in, right? Like,
yeah, but this is gonna be funny. This will be funny.
This is the PPR stuff is so goddamn stupid. We play a game that's made up. It has fake stats. All of it is fake.
Until every quarterback pass is worth like 50 points to properly value how important they are to every NFL franchise, that fantasy is its own thing.
That's the other obvious one. The touchdowns and then the quarterback scoring. We massively nuke the quarterback scoring. And you're going to get mad about PPR? Like, we very clearly don't actually make stuff be what it's really worth in real football. And then everyone just says this about PPR over and over again. And it's just, ugh.
Yeah, but think about how sick of a 7-yard run Hartz is going to find to pair with that stupid catch.
Yeah. Yes, he's going to find a sick one. It's going to be true.
It's going to be awesome.
All right. I can confirm, guys, from this shot of the huddle, Dotson is on the field.
Now be careful, Pete, because there's a lot of other guys that are.
There's a lot of numbers.
lot of numbers. Did you see the name Dotson?
Yeah, I love the way Joshua said it. We need things to count, or there is no game. It's not that hard to understand. Like,
that's our play on 3rd and 15. A dump off in the flat on 3rd and 15. I guess
they're playing for a field goal, dude.
They sent pressure, and he had an unblocked blitzer, so he threw to his outlet quick to try to give him room to run. I think this was entirely because of that blitzer right there that he threw so quick.
Jesus.
Are they in field goal range or not? I can't remember.
Yep. Well, they're going to give it a shot. 46-yarder. Is that in Joey Sly's bag?
Good defensive play call, but fuck, man.
We need this made to keep.
Yeah.
Oh,
he missed it.
He donked it. Jesus. That's brutal for the Fields.
It really is, yeah.
Oh my!
Come on,
God.
man.
That's all because Brian Robinson had to go and catch that pass.
Honestly, dude.
What a brutal kick.
I think 3rd and 15 is a lot more manageable, or 3rd and 10 would have been a lot more manageable. They probably would have went for it on 4th.
Well, they'd be 5 yards closer, so they probably wouldn't have, but then they kick shorter.
Yeah.
The Bears, DJ
Bears are like, we're going to win a game.
He's psyched, man. Good for DJ.
Why are you flying? They're the Commanders. It's not like it's the Eagles or something.
Can we just
what are
get
Commanders?
Kari Blossing game season. Oh my God! Spin move. I thought that was gonna be lost yards. Commanders are like commanders in chiefs, like the president.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, really?
Yes. They're from Washington. It's like political commanders. I think.
I always thought maybe it was like a ship thing, you know? Like a commander or ship, captain and commander.
Maybe.
Just because, like the command is a commander in chief. Like that's the
Army commanders. That's what. Like I thought it was like all the commanders of all the.
So they can change that now that Snyder's gone, right?
Yeah, they can and they should.
They should have never. They should have kept Washington football team.
That would have been such a funny move. I think it would have grown on people eventually.
It would have. I mean, I feel like it did already grow on people.
Yeah, just football team. It's funny.
It is funny.
But like they kind of do that in like soccer, right? Don't they do like they don't all have like some of them got the mascots, but a lot of them you just say the city. Right? Like Manchester City, right? Well, I guess that's
I mean, how perfect is it that they picked a name that
Barcelona.
like the whole chat is like they're named after Joe Biden's dog. It's a Navy rank. Josh Harris wants
no, it's
to
a
change
Navy.
it.
Okay, Navy.
We don't even know what the hell this is. Probably somebody in chat that actually knows what they're talking about, but we're mostly just guessing. And that just goes to tell you that they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. It's just such a Washington football team.
I've always enjoyed Zach Kruger's down in Washington area, and I think he's done some serious radio or something. Maybe it's not serious. Anyway, he's real dialed in with Washington stuff, and he calls them the commies. I think that's such a funny little dig.
I love it.
The Washington, it's Jovers. That's what they should be.
By the way, I always read that as Joe Ever.
Joe Ever.
It's Joe Ever.
Man. Yeah.
It's
how it's spelled.
They should call them wasn't the Pigskins like referenced? You could still call them the Skins. Like, why don't you? It's another name for football. Just call them the Pig. They already do the pig.
Toss
mascot.
all the racist guys a bone. You can still call them the Skins. You just gotta put a pig in front of it.
I don't know about that.
That wasn't what
Cole Kmet one time, folks.
They do all the pig stuff already. They have the hogs and everything. I mean, it just.
Oh my DJ Moore. So there's
man.
Fields.
He's gonna score again.
Holy shit.
He's not gonna stop.
Yes.
More
That's good for us.
He really just wanted that TD so bad. I mean, I told you guys DJ Moore was so good. Imagine not being in on DJ Moore 7 years ago.
Imagine losing your faith in DJ Moore.
What a beast.
Man, why couldn't that have been Cole Kmet? All right, another drive of getting to sweat all of the single-digit numbers on the pigskins.
I mean, you got 17-point lead. They're going to fall back. And, I mean, can we just get Howell to run an underneath route is, I think, the biggest issue. Or not Howell, Dotson. Are they just going to run Dotson downfield the whole time? Because there's going to be some free completions here.
You would think. What a game by DJ Moore.
Dude's so good. I spent so much time arguing this guy was so good, and I can't, like, I'm not making any money off of this. There's nothing about this that's helpful. 8, 2, 30, and 3. Wow. 78 fantasy points in the captain slot.
78
That
points.
is a really ridiculous line.
That's crazy.
It's like almost 30 yards a catch. It's like 28 yards a catch.
That's wild.
$52 points.
All right. You just yeah, Best Ball Moderate just got me to pull up one of my I had to see what my best weekly winners team is. This is kind of fun. It's a Fields, DJ Moore, Komet team, but it does have DeAndre Swift and Devon Achane at running back. Still has Waddle and Garrett Wilson to go.
No.
Could do a little something. Rashod Bateman back at full practice today was a nice.
That's
little
nice.
thing.
Yeah. I'm having a pretty decent little start to the best ball season, but I have a lot of Bateman and a lot of JSN. Those are two takes that are not looking particularly good.
Yeah, the Bateman, the thing I was thinking about the other day is like how many times Bateman and Burks were kind of like the last of that tier.
Yeah.
When really the answer was Nico Collins and Jacoby Myers, who were 30 picks later.
Yep.
I actually don't get this of like it's time to call it on Bateman because he hasn't been healthy. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a weird one to me. But I think some people have been kind of out on Bateman in the beginning. So it's like one of those things where if you're not like into a guy and then he gets hurt, you're like, it's over, dude. So I don't know.
I'd be willing to way more willing to call it on someone like Burks, who isn't healthy and that offense is just not a competent passing offense.
Here's a thought. Let's not call it on people. Like,
yeah, I'm not calling it on him either. I've actually been encouraged.
Next time, chat, you're thinking about starting a sentence with, I think it's time to call it on. Just don't write that chat comment because it's the week 5 and that's not how the NFL works.
I mean, we would have called it on DJ Moore already. Like, seriously, we would have called it on DJ Moore by now.
Yeah, week 3, like 3
we were calling it on people.
Yeah.
Well, it's also just it's in the same way. It's like, are you gonna call it on Keaton Mitchell? Why is Keaton Mitchell on your bench? Well, I'm stashing him if things break right in the Ravens offense and he's a contributor. Well, that's fucking Rashod Bateman too. I don't know.
What I will say is
out of whack.
Bateman's role was bad early in the season. We're like Burks. I was like, oh, this could be okay once he gets healthy. The offense certainly needs him. He made that one big catch, but Bateman, it's like, this doesn't look very good. But Zay Flowers, I think he's done okay with the opportunity he's been given, but he hasn't run away with it. Odell Beckham hasn't looked that good. Nelson Aguilar's whatever. Like there's a need for a playmaker. He could get back to full health and be something down the stretch. Is he going to produce much from like now till week 11? Probably not. So, I wish I had less Bateman, but I don't think like he's a first-round pick with a really good prospect profile and hasn't been healthy. Like those are the kind of guys who kind of out of nowhere could be like, oh shit, here he goes. Like he turned it on.
And they do need a field stretcher, right? Like Zay Flowers ADOT is like approaching JSN levels. Like at this point, Odell has been hurt. They need someone to stretch the field.
They do. I don't think he's been healthy. Is honestly what I think it is. Like Odell Beckham went down in that game. What week was it? Week 2 or 3? He goes down, and Nelson Aguilar comes in and was getting a ton of first reads. And my read on it was like he's playing the Odell Beckham role. Instead of like putting Bateman into that role, they just had Aguilar play the Beckham role, which either means Bateman's bad or he's not healthy. So it's certainly possible he's bad.
Yeah, that's the last time we listened to you, DK.
What do we get? Are we going to get 1/3 down pass here?
We had the other 4 picks there. Remember, we were looking for the 5th pick, and you're like, chat really wants Komet. We had the other 4 locked and loaded.
We should have just sacrificed the EV and locked it at 4.
Yeah.
No, I wanted that.
DK,
I wanted the guy, I don't remember his name. I wanted Edwards. I wanted TJ Edwards.
Edwards hasn't done anything.
He hasn't done anything either.
They haven't been running. Washington hasn't been running. I wasn't going to let us do that because I was like, it's not going to make sense if
he has 8 tackles.
Negative script.
He's 1 tackle away.
Yeah, but he's not going to. They're not going to run. The linebackers get the tackles on like against a run script. The reason he's not this is a season low, and it's because Washington's been in trail script and throwing.
Yeah. Davis says, Devin, at what point do we accept some players just aren't great? The problem, like the true answer, and it's not the fun thing, is everything is on a range of outcomes. And you're saying the probabilities of Rashod Bateman are less likely to hit now than we thought when we drafted him. Those chances have come down. It's a sliding scale of percentages. But what I just said is not as fun as saying it's Jover for Rashod Bateman. So everything gets painted in a binary stance when it's really just probability shifting. But that's no fun. So we have to say it's over again, the best.
At what point do we accept why? Why do we have to accept that?
I mean, we do accept. At some point we do accept. But like the idea that we should accept that Rashod Bateman is good because he didn't have a great rookie year, had a pretty good second year on limited volume. The volume actually the only reason you would say didn't have a second year. He was super efficient when on the field as a sophomore and then got hurt and then hasn't been healthy this year. When do we accept that he's not good? Not now. The last time we saw him healthy, he was really good. So we don't accept that he's not good based on him not being healthy to start the year. Like that's not
the thing about this is when people want us to accept it, the focus is on all of the times that you have seen the Laviska Chenaults, where we just sort of martingale it and he isn't good. It's like, oh, we should have accepted it earlier. But it's only with the benefit of hindsight that you can say, oh, we should have accepted it earlier. There are players that do have weird starts to their career and then hit. I mean, like, I'm not going to go way back to Devontae Adams, but like the Devontae Adams and Tyler Boyd ones are examples. The one that I have written about a little bit this year is Rashad Penny. I don't know how many fucking times we got asked to stop talking about Rashad Penny because he can't stay healthy. And then he was a league winner that year that like we had him stashed in some places and he ended up like scoring a bunch of points down the stretch. And then the next season he was good early in the year. Then he gets hurt. Then he's been, gone from Seattle. He's not even playing for Philadelphia. But 2 years ago, he did stay healthy for a stretch and put up a fuck ton of fantasy points that would have made him worth stashing off the waiver wire. And when we were talking about him that year, people were like, Rashad Penny's not it. He's not going to be it. He can't be it. I remember how many times we were told we're just doing the same thing. We're just martingaling Rashad Penny. When are we going to accept that Rashad Penny can't stay healthy? And then he goes out and he has a stretch at the end of the year where he's like the best running back in football for a stretch because he did stay healthy. And it's like, this is why sometimes you're willing to continue to try, like wait around on these guys.
Well, we've done the same thing back-to-back years with Justin Fields. People, can you cut him? Justin Fields, he worked. And now Justin Fields, last 2 games, 43 of 64, 617 passing yards, 8 TD, 1 interception, 131.32 passing rating. Like, he's done. He sucks. Move on. Like, again, it's just.
When is everyone going to admit he's not a good quarterback? He can't handle it. Can't process. It's a disqualifying trait. Can't play at the NFL level. I mean, how many people were saying that?
All right. Let's suck out on a Jahan Dotson.
It is time.
It's time.
I missed a lot of that because my headphones died, but I'm going to go back and listen to that. It seemed like that was a really awesome fucking rant, and I got the Rashad Penny part at the end, and it was so good.
It was good.
And then you guys seemed like you're having
I can't wait for Rashad Penny to do it again this year, too.
Oh, hell yeah. Let's do it, Rashad.
The Rashad Penny point is such a good one. Like that.
DJ Moore.
We were told forever.
You said DJ Moore earlier. We would have been out on DJ Moore for a long time in Carolina. People thought he sucked in Carolina. He was the Kyle Pitts before Kyle Pitts. Every year, this guy just can't play. Yeah. You keep trying to sell me on DJ Moore. Now look at the guy scoring 3 touchdowns on Thursday Night Football.
This is Kyle. I mean, this is the whole thing. Was he going to play the Chiefs every week? Now this is Justin Fields' schedule next. They get the Vikings, then the Raiders, then the Chargers, then the Saints, then the Panthers, then the Lions, then the Vikings.
He's not on the field. De'Ami Brown's playing over him. What the fuck?
What's happening?
That was Terry McLaurin, Curtis Samuel, and De'Ami Brown.
For Jahad Dotson. Jover.
Honestly, might be, dude. Why are they?
What is it? What was that throw?
Dude, what? All the Aaron Rodgers takes of like Aaron's going to make sure like Dalvin Cook plays. We were directionally accurate, but it was about Sam Howell making sure De'Ami Brown plays.
Do you know what name I just realized I haven't heard all season? Has Mecole Hardman done a single thing?
No, dude. Rodgers buried him so good in the offseason that they can't even play him now that he's gone.
I was like, I've literally not heard his name mentioned once.
Why can't Dotson run that route? Why did you fall down, McLaurin?
Is Dotson hurt? I didn't know anything about him being hurt. Did you guys? He
must be hurt. Like I just put in my notes that I want to check on this for stealing signals next week, but I feel like he's got to be hurt. And I'm wondering if it explains a lot of his struggles so far this year. Now we got Crowder out there, but still no Dotson. Oh, he's out there. I just saw the one, I think.
Are you sure it wasn't a different single digit? They kind of all look the same.
Dotson on the field. Jesse Riddle saw it too.
Okay.
Dude,
this would be an all-time suck out.
This would be field? Elite. Yeah, he's bottom of the screen. Wide open. Throw it down there, Howell.
Howell. God, this guy loves.
Why are you going over the middle of the field with no time left when you have a wide open receiver? God damn it, Howell. Yeah, dude, I'm back out on Howell. I'm back out.
And that's it. That's game.
Howell sucks, dude. That was so stupid.
You're not even. What a play. You don't even get a Hail Mary shot?
God. How many first downs did Howell have? 27? Can't throw any of them to Dotson? Fuck.
Guess what, guys? Next week, the giveaway is $500.
Fucker.
I want to look up what the matchup is next week.
Oh my God, Tyler! Fucking shoot Tyler to the moon. I cashed Dotson unders. Let's fucking go, hero.
Post the screenshots, Tyler. Let's see them.
So Drew Davenport had a tweet here that said Dotson will play. But why wouldn't he play?
Dude,
we must have missed an injury, man.
Dude, next week the Chiefs host the Broncos. Mahomes gonna drop 50.
I think he had an ankle injury in the Sunday game. He was questionable return on Sunday with an ankle. I think we fucked that up.
We don't know ball.
I think we don't know ball, dude. We missed a fucking ankle injury. Hang on. Let me see.
He scored a TD in the last play of the game and forced OT. Oh, no. Did he hurt an OT?
Limited, full. He got a full practice in. You feel okay about that.
He's fine. I'm already excited about Chiefs Broncos.
Fuck, man.
And by that, I mean I'm excited about the Chiefs.
Marvin
we gotta have a Bronco on the pick 'em too.
I'm so excited to be tilting Marvin Mims to get 7 yards in the fourth quarter.
Hey, Underdog. We're putting the Marvin Mims over on our pick 'em. Your call on what that line is. Your call on what we go higher on, but he's on there, okay?
We're going higher. It's happening.
It's funny too because it's so fucking binary with Mims that like I wouldn't blink at a number that was like 65. I mean, like if he's getting there, he's clearing 65.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
I thought you were gonna say I wouldn't blink at a number like 35 because like it might just be 15, you know?
No, they'll set it. It'll be like 24, but it's like with Marvin Mims, what's the difference between 24 and 48? It's either Sean Payton pulls his head out of his ass or he does it.
Man. Curtis Samuel, by the way, just so we don't feel too bad, DNP limited. And he was out there all the fucking time.
Oh, Curtis Samuel looked great.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah.
Should have taken Curtis Samuel over. I mean, good Lord. Did every other Commanders receiver hit their overs? Logan Thomas did.
No, I think McLaurin went under.
Got it.
McLaurin, I believe, was in the 50s, and he only had 49 yards.
McLaurin was 49, and his number was 60.5 receiving yards.
Yeah, okay.
Got it.
So we
would have needed to do Logan or
we need to go through Logan.
Marvin Mims receiving props, all numbers look the same.
There we go, dude. Thank you.
Exactly.
Find it all the way back.
As long as you're in the double digits, all the numbers are the same for Marvin Mims. This is the level of sweating that I could get behind. At least Walrus had Brian Robinson in this game. Walrus balls taking a hit on his first place team with a shitty Brian Robinson night.
Thank you, Daniel Danielson.
Yeah. All right, dudes. Sorry we couldn't get the giveaway to one of you guys tonight. $400. It will be $500 next week. Hopefully we can get some Marvin Mims bucks for you guys. Then Gretch, what do you got going here? Anything you'd like to plug?
I wrote up an extra post for Stealing Signal subs this week, doing the team-by-team targets per out run breakdown on all the players through the first 4 weeks. That's always a fun exercise. Good recalibration of how the first month has gone.
Yeah.
Other than that, same stuff.
Awesome. Pat, you're going to narrate the walkthrough right now, correct?
That's right. I'm going to have the walkthrough out later tonight, and we'll have the audio version up on the premium podcast feed later tonight. If you're subscribed to Legendary Upside and you don't have the premium podcast feed, just get in touch with me. It's very easy for me to resend the link to get you to what you need to set that up. If you're into the audio and you're not signed up, you can check out a free preview that I'll have on the Legendary Upside podcast feed. Also, the first 3 games or so of the walkthrough I have above the paywall as well at Legendary Upside. So that'll be good. I decided to name it after Devin Achan.
Okay. I like
the
it.
guy changed his name, you know. You got to give him a little respect after he's just like
going back to the well. Can't wait.
Guys, I got a great stat for you from Next Gen Stats to close on.
Does it have to do with Dotson?
No, it's DJ Moore getting 221 of his 230 yards on hitches and go routes. The most yards on those 2 routes in a game over the last 6 seasons. And then there's a picture of his route chart, and it's just like all hitches and go routes.
And that includes the play where they said he stepped out of bounds, where we never even saw the fucking replay on it.
Yeah, they never showed us the replay on that.
Yeah.
They should have 300 yards.
Make sure you guys check out Stat Chasing on that, posted for everyone yesterday morning. Really great work as usual by Drico and Sacrilegious. They're doing an awesome job with the charts, all of the usage trends. If you guys are YouTube members, you can watch that live on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you're checking out Steph's article. If you guys want to become YouTube members, you can hang out with us in the Ship Chasing Discord, a great place to be. I'm going to have my DFS show tomorrow with Jam to Win on my channel at 2 p.m. And then I've been doing a fun Underdog show with the Badge Bros on the Underdog Daily channel. Fridays at 3 p.m. We go through Battle Royale strategy. I'm sure we'll hop in a dog bowl. We build some pick 'em entries for the weekend. So be sure to check that out if you're in the Underdog streets. As I mentioned, or I don't know if we mentioned it tonight, new depositors, $500 deposit match. If you guys are new, use promo code SHIP when you guys sign up, get that $500 deposit match. And if you're chasing the Deposit Kingdom to Miami, you can get buy 4, get $50 bonus cash back with the dog bowl. $50 entries, no cap on that. So if you do 8 of those, you get $100 back and so forth. Appreciate you guys. Sorry we couldn't bring home that pick 'em giveaway, but we will keep trying. We will keep trying. We appreciate you guys. We will catch you next time on Ship Chasing. Peace.